Payton will be at the rush end position, so they've got some quality people. It's just putting all the pieces to the puzzle together for them, trying to get a win.
Paul Osbaldiston has the football game underway. That's David Lucas. He's to the 25-yard line and cuts into the middle. Stopped near the 31, and that's where the Pirates will begin tonight's starting lineups for Speedy Auto Glass. Don't take a chance. Take your auto glass repairs and replacement to Speedy Auto Glass. Terrence Jones has been good on 36 of 94 passes for only 540 yards. Just 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
John, to just put that in perspective with some of the other quarterbacks, there's Terrence Jones, 36 completions after 4 games. Matt Dunnigan had 107.
Yeah, Dunnigan had 400 yards yesterday. Jones has his first pass for Charles Thompson, and that was no good. In the backfield, Brad Gaines wearing number 38 tonight, and Martin Patton. Also on the roster is Reggie Barnes. Here are the wide receivers, Wayne Walker and David Lucas outside, Charles Thompson and Manny Hazard on the inside.
An offensive line that has struggled protecting the quarterback as well as Hamilton's. They had 2 have given up 16 sacks. You look at the right side, Chuck Reed and Keith Browner both came into training camp as defensive linemen, and through injuries all of a sudden they have been converted and learned how to play offensive line in a hurry.
A penalty against the Tiger Cats on the previous play, making this 1st and 5 for Terrence Jones and the Shreveport Pirates. Jones is on target this time. Martin Patton makes the catch, and that'll be a first down. Shreveport out across midfield. Defensively for the Tiger Cats, Cofield was there last year right alongside Reggie Rogers and Jeff Fields. Michael Philbrick is the newcomer. The linebackers, Terry Wright and O'Shea, back in their regular spots from last season. Hassan Bailey is the newcomer.
Yeah, and every quarterback's dream to have 2 raw rookies who have never played a CFL game on both corners.
First down from the 53, and Patton got the call, number 5. Not much running room for Patton off left tackle. Terrence Jones' passing percentage is at 38%. And he had a tough time last week against the Eskimos.
Yeah, he got the hook in that game. Tom Mickey, who's played in the Canadian Football League for a number of years, came in. They signed him as a free agent when Edmonton released him this year. So don't be surprised if Terrence doesn't get things going early that you see Tom Mickey come into the game.
This is 2nd and 8. Jones couldn't find his receiver. He intended that for Manny Hazard, number 83. And there was a mix-up between quarterback and receiver on that play. I wonder if we'll see Tom Mickey tonight.
Well, you're going to see Tom Mickey. It's just a matter of when. Terrence Jones setting up, and you know the blitz was coming, and the receivers, the inside receivers especially, like a Manny Hazard, have to look quickly when the linebackers are coming. Terrence Jones saw it, but Hazard just didn't look in time, and consequently an incomplete pass.
Aaron Canner has been punting well for the Pirates. He's standing at his 45-yard line. Too deep for the Tiger Cats. This is Dave Donnell. And he bobbled it and then got right back on the ball. 39-yard punt. Tim Rosenbaum has completed 57.8% of his passes for just 620 yards. 4 interceptions compared to 2 touchdowns.
I told you in the opening he was a first-round draft choice of Phoenix in 1989. His best year with them was 1990, where he was 4th in the NFC in passing. But since then, it has been kind of downhill. And last year, of course, did not play any football at all.
From the shotgun, beginning at the 13, Rosenbaum for Earl Winfield, and he's very close to a first down. He is the most popular Ticat without doubt. In Rosenbaum's backfield, John Hood and Lee Knight to run tonight. The receivers, Cornell Burbage and Earl Winfield outside, with Joey Yock and veteran Ken Avrere at the slot back spots.
And the offensive line, which has been a sore spot for the Ticats. Val St. Germain, the #1 draft pick by the Ticats, starts at left tackle. And, you know, quite honestly, it's going to take him time to develop. You just can't come in as a rookie and all of a sudden expect to dominate on the offensive line. You look at Peter Giftopoulos starting at right guard. He's a converted linebacker. Daryl Harley at center, who's been around, it seems, and bounced around forever. So this is kind of a makeshift offensive line tonight, and you have to wonder, will they be able to give Tim Rosenbaum the time to throw?
Val St. Germain had a tough week last week versus John Kropke. Burbage to the near side, number 89. And that means Winfield is to the far side of the field on first down, Tiger Cats. Rosenbach stands in, and he's on target once more. Lonzel Hill, number 8, makes the catch, and that'll be another Ticat first down. Defensively for Shreveport, Halliburton, Williams, Cornelius, and CFL veteran Alfred Payton, the only Canadian content up front. A little more in the linebacking core with Brian Hilk and Greg Stuman, former CFLers.
Yeah, and all CFL experience in the secondary. You'll probably recognize a few of those names.
Rosenbach, first down, has to get out of there. He can run when he has to, and he's to the 40-yard line. Good effort by Rosenbach. Greg Stuman made the tackle. Stuman all-Canadian in 87, 88, and 90.
Greg Stuman is the middle linebacker. Watch the pursuit angle he gets, and much as we saw what happened so many times in Ottawa the other night, force the quarterback back to the inside where you're going to get some help. Keep that outside leverage, and there he gets some help from the other guys inside, but that's a heck of a job by Stuman.
Second down and 6. 3 receivers to the near side. Rosenbach over the middle on target at the 50-yard line, and Lonzel Hill has another catch.
Interesting formation for the Ticats, going with a 5-receiver package right now against Shreveport. I think it's an excellent move. Lonzel Hill has excellent speed to work him out of the slot back, and then you go trips with your 2 slots of Rare and Joey Yock to the wide side of the field. What you do more than anything else is spread that defense out, and so far Tim Rosenbach looks like he's on target tonight.
Yeah, he has been on the money, no doubt about that. Another Ticat first down out at the 50-yard line. Rosenbach, time once more. Evrere couldn't make the catch. Number 17.
Pass goes incomplete.
Kenny Evrere had his best year in 1992 when he was a Canadian Shenley nominee, but cannot hang on to the pass, thrown a little bit behind him last year with a knee problem. Missed 3 games late in the year and has rebounded nicely this year with 14 catches coming into tonight's game.
679 yards and receptions for Evrere last term. He missed that one, making this 2nd and 10. Again, the shotgun. Here comes the heat, and Rosenbach is down. Caught by Brian Hilk, number 15.
Rosenbach dropped by Brian Hill.
Second start for Hilk.
Shreveport is not a big blitzing ball club. There, our defensive coordinator, Steve Dennis, likes to play it a little softer and make teams put a lot of plays together to beat you, but comes with a little bit of heat to change things up, change the rhythm. And Brian Hilk, number 15, who had some playing time with the Toronto Argonauts a year ago, gets the first sack of the night for the Shreveport Pirates.
Ticats were able to move the ball a little bit. And this punt will come from the 30-yard line as Osbaldiston stands in. Too deep for the Pirates. That's Terry Smith at the 30-yard line. Well covered by the Tiger Cats, and he lost a couple.
Terry Smith takes that ball.
38-yard punt. T.J. Martin leading the tacklers for the Tiger Cats. No scoring so far at Ivor Wynn in Hamilton. The Pirates and the Ticats on CFL Live.
To discover the real difference between...
Is Forrest Gregg, once the head coach of the Toronto Argonauts, now back with the Shreveport Pirates, a team he joined in the preseason. And that's been the toughest part for Forrest Gregg, a new team and a coach who hasn't even been here since it started.
You need a lot of teaching time. And when you miss training camp and you don't have that teaching time, then you've got to spend time during the season doing it when you should be scheming and planning for the opponent. Instead of trying to teach them how to pass block, you should be teaching them new plays in which will work against the opponent.
So why would Forrest Gregg leave SMU, where he was athletic director, to come back and be a coach under all this pressure?
Well, it's hard to figure, isn't it, John? But quite honestly, Forrest Gregg loves coaching.
That's what he says. That's the reason he came back. He wanted to coach.
Yeah, he didn't need to, but it's in the blood. It's something that's very difficult to explain unless you have been a head coach, that you just have that great desire to want to come back and be a leader, guide a team, and especially with a new expansion franchise, see it develop and grow. And well, that's the reason. See number 14, your screen right there. That's Adrian Smith, He's a rookie playing in his very first CFL game tonight, and I was kind of surprised on the first series that Terrence Jones didn't come out and test either one of these new corners. Eric Carter is in the same situation on the other side.
Jones pitches to Patton, and that was well read by the Tiger Cats defensively as linebacker Terry Wright, number 7, broke through to make the tackle.
Terry Wright is one of those converted defensive backs to a linebacker position. He's about 6 foot, 195 pounds, and you know he's a guy that obviously plays the pass well from his defensive back days. But I think he showed you right there that the reason why he is in that position is he can equally as well play the run.
A loss of 4. This will be 2nd and 14. The Pirates pushed back to the 23 now. More heat on Jones. He got it away this time for Patton, far side, and it's Wright again on the tackle. Well short of the first down.
Just to continue the thought on Forrest Gregg for a moment, one thing the Ticats really want to do in this football game is throw a lot of different looks at the Shreveport Pirates. They feel that Shreveport, like most expansion teams, plays very basic type football and therefore has problems with combination coverages and offensively things like 3 receivers.
Yeah, I think you're right, Gord. Already on that opening series, that 5-pack receiving core gave Shreveport some trouble, and the blitzing so far of their Hamilton defense has slowed down Terrence Jones just a touch.
High kick. And this is Earl Winfield. Winfield inside. Markers are down as Winfield crosses the 50. 3 orange penalty flags on the field. And the return will be coming back.
Well, Richard Nertz, backup slot back, is going to get called for the illegal block on the Earl Winfield punt return. A bit of an iffy call here. Lovely return by Winfield, but the Ticats are going to have it brought back.
Still no score at Iverwin and Hamilton. Tiger Cats will be first down when we return. This one by Earl Winfield will not go into the books. Top spot in the CFL East with a victory over the Argos at Skydome yesterday. Baltimore has a game in hand and will pick that up in Vegas on Saturday night. And then there's a Toronto and Ottawa 2 and 3, and Shreveport and the Ticats still trying to break into the win column.
Well, you look at Hamilton's schedule in the next few weeks, John. They're playing Shreveport tonight, then they have Baltimore the following week, then Shreveport, then Baltimore again. So, you know, like John Gregory said in our opening, you know, we're just like a couple of games away from being back in the hunt, and he's absolutely correct. You know, with their schedule in August, they could very well be 4-4 by the end of the month, and then Toronto comes here for the annual Labor Day game. So if he can get his team to respond and rebound after a dreadful start, you know, by 1st of September, they could be in pretty decent shape.
Yeah, if they're 4-4 by Labor Day, they'll have a pretty fine year.
Well, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility either. You know, with Shreveport twice and Baltimore twice.
Well, you look at the losses, at least 2 were close enough for the Tiger Cats. They lost to Sacramento by 3 and then took the BC Lions into overtime before bowing. So they have been close, but the record is still 0-4. 1st and 10 Ticats. Rosenbaum found John Hood, number 24, and he ran into Ben Williams, number 64. The other Williams, the toaster, is no longer on the roster of the Shreveport Pirates. We bumped into him on the first game of the season against the Ottawa Rough Riders. But Brett Williams has apparently retired. Gain of 2. This is 2nd and 8. Rosenbach, the shotgun. Lots of time. Canaveral makes the catch, has the first down, and he's stopped by Daniel Hunter near the 50-yard line.
Well, John, we talked about the Ticats coming out with this 5-pack. Here's Winfield up here. They got the 2 slots, Yock and Avrer. Here's Lonzel Hill and Burbage. Hey, you've got the whole field spread out, and it worked nicely on the next play. Avrer catches the hook over the middle, and things are looking pretty good, but this is a way to spread out the defense. This was the draw or the screenplay to Hood, but what we're trying to show you is just a new look that the Ticats are giving Shreveport, and it's working.
Hood is caught almost immediately by Peyton, number 56. Well read by the Pirates defense. Actually, it is a loss of a yard.
Elfrid Payton's a guy that only has 1 sack coming into this game. Had 22 with the Bombers last year, but hey, this is a different kind of defense. In Winnipeg a year ago, he had a lot of help around him creating openings for Elfrid Payton. Here, he's just pretty much a plugging defensive end and expected to do it all by himself. With Winnipeg, he got a lot of free opportunities. Hasn't been that way in 1994 for Elfrid Payton.
Well, we've got an injured player being attended to on the field leave. It's interesting to me to note that when Tim Rosenbaugh went to Ken Avrere 2 plays ago, it was the same play that Avrere dropped the pass on the earlier series. Now, there's been some criticism of Rosenbaugh here in Hamilton that he's too unforgiving of receivers. In fact, with NFL quarterbacks, you drop a ball, you might not see one the rest of the game. But Rosenbaugh came to the sidelines, talked to Avrere. He says, I won't do that again. He says, I know you won't. I'm going right back to you.
Well, that's what you like to see in a quarterback. Hey, you're not going to catch every ball, and you hate to think you're going to be ostracized if you happen to drop one every once in a while. So pretty good that he comes right back to him. You know, Danny Barrett in Ottawa does that. I saw him do it a few weeks ago with Nick Mazzoli, and boy, as a receiver, you think the quarterback's a pretty good guy when you'll do that and show confidence in you.
Second down, 11 yards to go for the Tiger Cats. At the 49-yard line, 6:20 left in the opening quarter. Rosenbaugh has trouble, and the Shreveport Pirates have an opportunity to get the loose ball, and do, as Rosenbaugh bobbled the shotgun snap. Looks like Ben Williams came up with a loose ball, number 64.
Well, sometimes you have to bite the bullet when you have an offensive miscue, and for Tim Rosenbaugh, the snap over the head, and he just couldn't recover. Here it is right here now. You got to just fall down on the darn thing and bite the bullet, take the 7-8 yard loss. But now what you've done is create an ugly turnover and put your defensive back to the wall.
Yeah, Harley had just gone to the sidelines, the starting center, so they had to make an adjustment on the offensive line, and that could have been part of the problem. Brian Hilk had an opportunity there, but it was finally picked up by the Pirates, Ben Williams, and setting Shreveport up just outside the 30-yard line. Charles Thompson is down to the 5.
Well, what Shreveport as a struggling team would love to do is to obviously take advantage of the turnover. Charles Thompson, the former wishbone quarterback from Oklahoma, waits till he gets into the clearing. Terrence Jones with enough time to wait for him to get into the open lane, and Shreveport with a nice offensive play. I'll get that one out. Well, it says Central State there, but his last team was Oklahoma, where he played in the Orange Bowl.
Look where the Pirates are. First down at the Tiger Cat 6. Patton got the call. That's Martin Patton. He's about halfway to the goal line. Met in there by Reggie Rogers for one, number 75. So this miscue will likely cost the Tiger Cats.
Well, it's going to cost them some points. Just depends on how many. Kind of a character builder for both sides right here. If Hamilton's defense, being put to the ultimate test, could hold them. And for Forrest Gregg's Pirates, offensively, a team that has struggled miserably this year, a chance to really get some self-confidence early in this game.
Shreveport 2nd and goal to go at the Tiger Cat 3. To the second man through, and Patton is into the end zone for the touchdown. Martin Patton, first touchdown of the season.
So the Shreveport Pirates take advantage of the turnover, the fumble by Tim Rosenbaugh, and now Martin Patton following the lead block of Reggie Barnes. Remember him?
Yeah.
He's a lead blocker now. He doesn't carry it as much anymore, but a nice finish to a 3-play drive that the Shreveports take advantage of the turnover and get the 6.
4:31 to play in the opening quarter as Martin Patton has the first touchdown of the ball game. Bjorn Nitmo the point after, and it's 7-0 Pirates leading the Tiger Cats. A turnover costly. From Ivor Wynn in Hamilton, tough start for the hometown guys. Shreveport in front, 7-0. Live from Ivor Wynn, the Pirates are celebrating the touchdown by that young man, Martin Patton. It took just 3 plays to cover 27 yards, and a 3-yard rush by Patton gives Shreveport the 7-0 advantage.
Well, it was the turnover that created that opportunity for Shreveport. Tim Rosenbach could not handle the shotgun snap from his center, Daryl Harley. And Martin Patton gets his first touchdown as a Shreveport Pirate.
Well, you know, Leaf, when teams are down like these two teams are coming into this game, they look for any sign to get them going. And for the Shreveport Pirates, very excited about the touchdown. You think they just won a playoff game. You'd think the Ticats just lost the Grey Cup, judging by the mood on their bench right now.
Well, when you're both 0-4, it gets a little tighter and a little tighter with each offensive sequence. And for the Pirates, hey, they're feeling pretty good about themselves. For the Ticats, they got to try and pick themselves up.
Dave Donnell from the 5-yard line tries to get the Tiger Cats on track. He pitches it off to Adrian Smith, and Smith didn't find any more running room. They'll begin back at the 15, actually inside the 15, as Daniel Hunter made the tackle for the Pirates.
Well, other than the one fumbled snap that really wasn't Tim Rosenbach's fault, his numbers have been solid in the first quarter here. The 5-pack offense that they have come out with, a pretty creative move for Hamilton, which has always been pretty conservative, but those numbers aren't too shabby.
Daryl Harley back at center for the Tiger Cats. The shotgun works this time as Rosenbach tried to find a receiver. He was surrounded. Hilk was there, number 15, along with number 72, Scott.
Good coverage downfield forces Rosenbach to try and run with the football, but there you see an excellent pursuit by the defensive front of Shreveport. And you know, they have a chance to pin Hamilton deep in their own territory and get the ball back in some solid field position.
Lots of a couple. This will be 2nd and 12. Rosenbach shotgun again. Hood makes the catch, and John Hood is out near the 23-yard line.
Scott makes the tackle for Shreveport.
It'll be short of a first down, and the Tiger Cat kicking unit comes in.
Johnny Scott back-to-back pretty large defensive plays for Shreveport. As not only does he get the sack on Rosenbach, but he also comes back and makes the next play. And just as we indicated, a 2-and-out situation for Ticats is going to give Shreveport some pretty solid field position, and that offense has to be feeling pretty good after getting the touchdown on their last series.
Osbaldiston standing inside his 10-yard line. Pirates have the lead at 7-0. Osbaldiston keeps this one low, bouncing near midfield. This is David Lucas. Well covered by the Tiger Cats, and another solid special team tackle by P.J. Martin. No gain on the return, a 38-yard punt. So Martin has had a couple of special team tackles already.
51-yard line.
All right, a little trivia tonight. What player in tonight's game looks like a former NBA superstar? Now, this is a pretty easy one. There he is. Now, I'll give you another hint. He's the quarterback of the Shreveport Pirates, and we'll let a couple of plays go by before we tell you. I'm sure at home you've got that one figured out.
Pirates have a first down just outside the 50-yard line of Shreveport. Terrence Jones under pressure, got away from the first Tiger Cat rush, but he can't avoid the second. Now he does, and almost gets a completion to Tony Moss, number 81. Wiseman was covering. Looked like Jones was caught a couple of times.
Well, he's always been a great runner. When he spent his time with Calgary and Ottawa, there was no question he could run with the football. It was his arm that, you know, everybody was waiting to develop, but he threw a perfect strike, and Moss really should have helped his quarterback out and made this catch.
Second and 10, Pirates at the Shreveport 51. Here comes the heat, and Jones had his man over the middle. Martin Patton, number 5. It'll be a first down. Terry Wright, made the tackle.
And Shreveport is doing a smart thing on offense against Hamilton, who likes to rush 4 people and drop 8 off. You always have opportunities to hit your backs out of the backfield, and so far here in the first quarter, Patton's he had a chance for a catch earlier, and that time made the catch, but it's a good scheme against Hamilton. Sneak the back in the lanes between the linebackers.
on first down. Jones caught from behind. Tim Cofield, number 55, through to deck Terrence Jones near midfield.
Tim Caulfield, the real leader on defense for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, comes up with a sack there. He beats the block of Stephen McIndoe, the left tackle, and Caulfield, who had 19 sacks a year ago, has his 5th of the year already.
He's up with the league leaders in that category. 2nd and 19 now. The ball at midfield.
All right, John, we had that little trivia test for you there. I'm going to give you one more hint. I'm pretty sure you've got it. The former NBA superstar that Terrence Jones looks like hit his first home run the other day.
Yeah, is he playing a little baseball now?
Yeah. Okay, you
Looks
got it.
a little like Michael, doesn't he?
A little bit.
Guys, you can't believe how many times Terrence Jones has stopped for autographs by people who think he is none other than Michael Jordan. Airports, hotels, you name it.
Now, how does he sign it? Terrence Jones or Michael Jordan?
Bill Lambier.
2nd and 24 facing the Pirates now. Jones has an opportunity to escape, but he won't be close to the first down. A rough ride out of bounds by Hassan Bailey, number 35. And the Pirates are set to kick it away. 21 seconds to go in the opening quarter.
You know, some people may say this is a late hit, and he was still in the field of play when they pushed him. It looks always a little more dramatic here in Hamilton because of the wall, and sometimes the officials have to be aware of that. I mean, the end of this play looks pretty bad, like Terrence Jones, you know, could be seriously hurt, but you know, the contact was made well within the field of play, and consequently the flag was not thrown.
Good series for the Tiger Cat defense after the Pirates moved out near midfield. Lee Knight almost got through, and this is Earl Winfield with nowhere to go, far side of the field. Michelle Davis leading the tacklers for the Pirates after a 39-yard punt. And there's a marker down on the far side.
Illegal block, Hamilton number 7, first down.
Ross Perrier, who's dusted off his sneakers from retirement to come back and be a head referee in the CFL again this year.
I wonder if my old pal Paul Dojak is running around the block in Regina trying to get in shape and think about coming back.
They might have put the call in. I'm not sure. Neil Payne out west from Winnipeg. He was a nice cushy job as a Western supervisor. He's back running around out in the field now.
That's the end of quarter number 1. The Tiger Cats escape, trailing only 7-0. It could have been worse.
This is 5 good seasons in Seattle before being injured and released. McCain underwent operations on both Achilles tendons and says he's healthy now and will join the Argos tomorrow. He will make $65,000 and he'll donate it all to a West End sports organization in Montreal, which helps out people in low-income areas and specifically youngsters in low-income areas. Also on tonight, the Montreal Expo is on the road for the duration before the...
Welcome back to Ivor Wynn in Hamilton, where the Tiger Cats trail the Shreveport Pirates 7-0. Two teams looking for their first victory of the 1994 season. And the pressure definitely on John Gregory. I would think the Ticats are in a more desperate situation to come out of this losing streak.
Well, I think they are when you consider the kind of money they spend on Tim Rosenbaugh to come in here and play quarterback as their marquee player, and you know the expectations were enormous, and it just hasn't materialized so far.
1st and 10 Tiger Cats, and Donnell breaks one out near the 30-yard line. He's all the way to the 35. Dave Donnell. Big play for the Tiger Cats. 4 first downs each in passing yardage, fairly close. The turnover was the costly situation for the Tiger Cats. Time of possession 6:45 compared to 8:15 for the Pirates. Ticats with a good run by Donnell, set up nicely now outside the 30-yard line near the 35. Rosenbaugh on target for Joey Yock. Yock's 11th catch of the season. Just a little short of the first down, about a yard and a half to go.
You know, Dave Denal on the previous play that cracked off that nice run. You know, I really think this guy should get some more playing time. And he's in his third year with the Ticats. He's a good, strong inside runner, catches the ball well. He's in on this series, and well, I really think this is a good move to get him some playing time. He's an exciting player.
2nd and 2. Rosenbaugh fires deep, and Hill had his hands on it, but couldn't bring it home. Not far off the mark. Joe Fuller covering on Hill that time, number 24.
The sun is a real problem here in Hamilton for the Hamilton Ticat receivers as they look back into it. There you see that side of the field with the sun so strong, and you know, you don't know whether Lonzel Hill had a problem seeing the football, but it's certainly in the warm-up. Guys were really having problems catching the ball when they looked straight up into it.
Yeah, pretty good indication of it right there. It'll be 3rd down, and Osbaldiston is in, standing at his 28-yard line, across the 30 to get this high kick away. Terry Smith has it at the 20. Smith away from the first wave of Ticat tacklers, out near the 50-yard line, slowed down and still on his feet until he crossed the 50-yard line. And again, it was P.J. Martin leading the Ticat special teams tacklers. A 32-yard return after a fine 50-yard kick by Osbaldiston.
And what Terry Smith did is he just waited, then look, he kicks it into high gear right there. He sees the opening, the little crack in the coverage team, and he is off and running. But the great kick returners have the confidence in not only their ability, but their speed to let things develop slowly and then be able to kick it into overdrive. And he really did that. You know, he's wishing he could have taken it all the way, but he really gave his offense some nice field position to work with.
1st and 10 for the Pirates at the Ticat 49. Nowhere to go for Martin Patton that time. Michael Philbrick, number 99, playing his 3rd game for the Tiger Cats. He had 6 tackles last week. Played awfully well.
He was a youngster who was originally drafted by the Ottawa Rough Riders and could not make their team, but he's getting a chance to play tonight. Nice little stunt there to the inside, working along with Jeff Fields, and he meets the back right in the hole.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13 for the Pirates now. Terrence Jones on target as Charles Thompson, number 6. Terry Wright doing it all for the Tiger Cats defensively, right in on another tackle. But a big gain for the Shreveport Pirates, 20 yards.
Charles Thompson, rather, who played with the Sacramento Gold Miners a year ago, comes to Shreveport as their slot back, and well, he has been very patient here in the first half to just settle into some open areas that Hamilton gives you. Terrence Jones has had enough protection from his offensive line to pick out his receivers.
Pirates 1st and 10, Ticat 33. Jones looks one way and back across the middle. Thompson again, number 6, and he's inside the 15. Couple of rookies in that Ticat secondary. They've had to make quite a few adjustments.
Well, you have to like the play of quarterback Terrence Jones. If it works once, hey, why not try it again? And Charles Thompson just finds the open area. Jones once again getting good time to throw, and boy, in a matter of a couple of plays, he's put a pretty solid looking drive together here, and it all started with that nice punt return.
Yeah, 2 20-yard receptions. And now the Pirates down at the Ticat 13 with a 1st down. End zone toss, touchdown. Pirates make it look easy as Wayne Walker grabs his 2nd touchdown of the season.
Well, if the Shreveport Pirates were lacking confidence on offense before tonight's game, it should be building at a rapid pace right now, because this was probably the best drive they've put together all season long. Wayne Walker, a former Ottawa Rough Rider, working on the inside against Don Odegaard, another rookie in the Hamilton secondary, and you see no contest as he breaks it back to the corner, and the Pirates have their 2nd touchdown of the night, and they're looking pretty efficient.
Yeah, that was a rather swell march for the Pirates. 14-0 on that Converse. So the Tiger Cats continue to stall, looking for their first win. They've fallen behind by a couple of touchdowns to the Pirates. Wayne Walker, number 80, has number 2.
Welcome back to Iverwin Stadium in Hamilton, where the Ticats trail the Shreveport Pirates 14-0 in the Battle of the Winless here in Southern Ontario. I can tell you this about Ticat fans: they have a reputation for being some of the toughest in the league. Very encouraging to their team in the first quarter when they came out, trying to give the offense a boost, encouraging the defense for a job well done. Lots of encouraging words. Well, the words they're using now, I would not describe as encouraging. Ticat fans restless to say the least, as their team is now trailing by 2 touchdowns to a team that surely must be worse than their own.
Well, I guess that's a point well taken. I mean, it's been a little more frustrating in Tiger Town. Last year, they tried to go with Don McPherson as their number 1 quarterback, and that didn't work out. 4 plays, 49 yards, and 231. And Wayne Walker has the touchdown to put John Gregory's Tiger Cats behind by 2 touchdowns, 14-0.
And what you might expect happening tonight has happened. Hamilton's very inexperienced secondary is just not challenging the Shreveport receivers very much. They're playing an awfully soft defense that Terrence Jones is having a very easy time picking apart. And you know, as Tim Rosenbach comes out on the field, they trail by 14. The last series he threw the long ball to Lorenzo Hill. Now he almost had a chance to catch it, but this series he's got to just go with the short game, try and reestablish something.
Dave Donnell on the return for the Tiger Cats, tries the far side, has maybe 7 yards on the return, and Daniel Hunter led the Pirate tacklers that time. Out around the 37 for this first down for the Tiger Cats. And Tim Rosenbach has to get it going.
Yeah, he really does. Dave Donnell, who I talked about, should get some more playing time, stays in the game, and he's in his 3rd year. He's a Hamilton or a Burlington Junior Brave product. But for Rosenbach, hey, they've got a good package in here tonight. That 5-receiver pack is a nice pack, and you know they're getting guys open. I think he just has to be patient and not try and go over the top of the Shreveport defense. Go underneath it and you know just establish some momentum. Heck, 14 points is nothing to come back from, but he is a quarterback and new to this league. He has to be a little more patient than I think he's been willing to be so far.
Well, we're going back, Leaf. It was offside for the Pirates, and they're going to kick again. The Ticat offense was already on the field, as was the Pirates defense. But now they've had a ruling, and they'll kick it over again and see if they can get some kind of a return. Or the Tiger Cats have the option, and we'll try and get some kind of a return out of this.
Yeah, they need something good to happen to them. They're kind of flat the way this game has started out. The turnover and a touchdown, and now Shreveport driving nicely for another one. So for John Gregory and his team, you know, nothing would lift them more than to have one of their guys break a decent kickoff return here and start the ball at least around midfield.
$10:29 to go till halftime, and ready for another Pirate kickoff. Donnell takes this one at the 25, already in better shape for the Tiger Cats, and this is a fine return. Donnell out across the 55 and stopped at about the 52. Alfred Payton makes the stop after a 34-yard return.
Well, I sure like the way this guy runs. He had the one running play that he cracked off tackle for a good gain, and now on the kickoff, look at this. There's nothing fancy. Get up into that seam as fast as you can. He's a good young hard runner, and well, I think he's just going to be a great player for this team, and it's encouraging to see that they're going to leave him in the game and give him some playing time.
Second in kickoff returns on this team in 1994, and obviously solid on special teams as well. Good fake by Rosenbach this time. He finds some running room to the far side of the field, and Joe Fuller has him over there, number 24, putting the stop on the Ticat quarterback.
That's a solid play fake by Tim Rosenbach here. Totally sucks in the Shreveport defense, but 24 Joe Fuller makes a heck of a play out here. Joey Yock cannot get the block, and would look like a very promising run by Tim Rosenbach. Certainly didn't get as much as it looked it was going to.
It looked wide open over there for a moment. The gain is 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5. Tiger Cats at the 45 of the Pirates. Rosenbach good on 52 of 90 for 620 yards coming into tonight's game. And started off with an impressive 5 completions and 6 tries. Shotgun again for Rosenbach. Time to throw. Nice defensive play by Joe Fuller.
Been a good series for Joe Fuller.
Hill was the intended receiver. And it'll be
Joe
third
Fuller
and 5.
right there. You watch him come up and then make the close on this one. He was a corner originally with the Saskatchewan Roughriders and now playing on the inside for Shreveport. And watch that right arm comes through, that acceleration to close the gap on Lonzel Hill. And Joe Fuller with a great tackle on Rosenbaugh. Good knockdown here. Well, you can't do it any better than he did right there.
Here's Paul Osbaldiston to try and get the Tiger Cats on the board. A 52-yard field goal try with a bit of a breeze, and Osbaldiston is just wide. Lucas will surrender the single points. Osbaldiston had the distance, but he wasn't quite on target. 8:53 to play. The Ticats trail by 13 on CFL Live. CFL Live from Ivor Wynne Stadium. In 4 games this season, these two teams have struggled a little bit, and this points it out. Hamilton has been outscored by 63 points. Shreveport has been outscored by 61 in 4 losses each so far this season. So far tonight, it's all Shreveport with a 14-1 lead on the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, you see the numbers there, and more often than not, it's an ineptitude of the offense that keeps the defense on the field far too long. Hamilton's defense is not that bad. Look at tonight, they've got too many first-year and first-game players in there for John Gregory's liking. You know that. Hey, he lost Gary Wilkerson this week to an unfortunate accident, little barroom scuffle, and before he knows it, his leg's cut for 30 stitches. He can't play. He's an all-star corner, and he loses Stephen Bates, a defensive lineman, in the same incident. And so, like, when it's going bad, it's really going bad.
It's pretty tough on the coach. Has not much control over situations like that, and the Tiger Cats feeling some heat from that as well. Here's Patton on first down for the Pirates. Good run as he gets across the 50 to about the 52-yard line. O'Shea in the middle comes up with a tackle, number 59. He had 8 tackles last week, a solid middle linebacker, Michael O'Shea.
Yeah, he's a great one. The rookie of the league last year, Mike O'Shea, moved from the outside to the inside to free up John Moten to go and play outside linebacker where he would be more effective. What does Moten do? Go and tears his knee up.
Yeah, Moten's on the injury list. So is Ramel Andrews, Bobby Dawson. Some big-name Tiger Cats on the defense are missing. 2nd and 4, and Jones is on the run. Fired that one on the far side for David Lucas. And really, Lucas had no opportunity. Jones may be lucky to just get it away.
Well, I think the Ticats had a chat on the sidelines on defense and said, look, let's crank it up a notch. It's maybe going to be the defense that has to get our team back into the game. Caulfield with the good pressure on Jones. And really the key, though, was Greg Eaglin coming up and challenging Charles Thompson. They wanted to go to that kind of lazy hook again over the middle, but Eaglin snugged up, played it tighter, and Jones had to throw it away. That was a good defensive series.
Aaron Canner now standing at his 37 across the 50 to get this one away. Left-footed, bouncing over Donnell to Earl Winfield. 2 Pirates run into each other, and Winfield has some room down the near side, looking for a block and cuts back in. This is Earl Winfield, finally caught by a posse of Pirates. Great return for Winfield. A 43-yarder after a 39-yard kick. And at last, something to cheer about for Ticat fans in Hamilton.
Well, every good punt returner needs some key blocks from his guys on that return team. And Terry Wright right there. Boom. Watch the hit on number 15, Brian Hilk, right there. And that was the one to let Winfield turn the corner. Then he's off and running.
Actually took 2 Pirates out of the play with that block.
Well, that was a great block. Terry Wright's had a solid first half, so made some decent defensive plays, and now on special teams, working as hard as he can to free up a lane for Earl Winfield. There's Terry Wright.
And the injured Tiger Cat is Earl Winfield. Shaken up on the return. Maybe we can find out what happened to Earl.
Well, what happened is he took a pretty good helmet in the shoulder. And tough to speculate as to what the injury might be. I know one thing. This is a guy that they can ill afford to have out of the lineup.
He has been the top receiver this year, as in many others. 25 receptions, 374 yards. And established a new Tiger Cat record in career touchdowns. For with his 57th last week.
You know who had the record?
I think it was Garney, wasn't it?
You got it. Garney Henley was the guy. But, you know, you look at every team in the league, and most every team has at least one weapon. Some teams have a lot more. You look at Calgary and BC, teams like that. But Earl Winfield, without question, is the weapon of the Hamilton Tiger Cat offense, and they really need him in there.
And he has been through 8 seasons now. He is the Tiger Cats' all-time leader in punt return touchdowns as well, with 11. The MVP of this team in 1993.
Go back and have another look at this from a different angle, and you're going to see William Evers right there, and watch the helmet go right up into the shoulder of Earl Winfield on the way down, and that's he planted a pretty good hit on Winfield. But the way Earl's leaving the field, and I would expect to see him back shortly.
Almost looks like he's a little dazed as he heads to the sidelines. Gord Miller will get over and find out when we can expect Earl back.
So Wally Zatilny, remember him? He comes in to play wide receiver in Winfield's absence.
And Dave Denal makes about 6 yards on a 1st and 10 from the 48. Caparati, that's Don Caparati, number 31 on the tackle, playing his 3rd game for the Pirates. At an outside linebacking spot. 7 of 10, that's 70%, I would figure. But only 63 yards passing for Rosenbach, and he hasn't hit the end zone yet. Gain of 6, previous play. This is 2nd and 4. Shotgun for Rosenbach. Looks to the far side, and Lonzel Hill comes up with a great catch. Looks like he landed on the ball going down, but it'll be a 1st down for the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, John, I think Lonzel Hill fell on the ball when he made this spectacular catch. Joe Fuller gambles. He comes underneath looking for the interception to take it the other way, but Rosenbach, to his credit, throws it high and wide, and Hill with a spectacular catch, and it's catches like those that can get the Ticats back in this game in a hurry.
1st down, Hamilton at the 35 of Shreveport. Zatilny near side, shotgun for Rosenbach, rolling right. And looking for a rare, solid defensive play by Kip Tejada. Let's bring in Gord Miller.
All right, John, Earl Winfield did leave the field under his own power, but he's in a lot of pain. They're checking for broken ribs, and Earl Winfield appears to be in a great deal of pain on the sidelines. What a loss this would be for the Ticats.
It certainly would. Undoubtedly the favorite Tiger Cat in Hamilton. 2nd and 10. 5:53 to go till halftime. Tiger Cats at the Shreveport 35. Rosenbach, man open over the middle. It'll be a 1st down, Ticats, as Joey Yock makes the catch near the 20.
Well, the key for Rosenbach is to get time to throw, because Joey Yock has to come a long way to finally work himself free, but Rosenbach steps in and delivers a good strike. Joey Yock with the catch, and slowly the Ticat receivers are really rounding into form here in the 2nd quarter, making some good plays for their quarterback.
1st down from the 20. Denal gets the call. He has about 3 down near the 17. Stopped by linebacker Brian Hilk, number 15. Spent a little time in Hamilton in 91. He was with the Argos in 93.
Earl Winfield told the doctors his ribs hurt a lot. They said, well, we better keep you out. He says, no way, I want to go back in. So Winfield buckled it back up, will put his helmet on, and wants to go back out for this offensive series.
Gutsy guy. Current drive rolling along for the Tiger Cats. This is 2nd down. Rosenbach stands in and floated this one. Dangerous pass to let go. I'm not sure who he intended it for.
Johnny Scott, the defensive tackle for Shreveport's, had a very active 2nd quarter here, and he got in and got some good push up the middle to get the pressure on Rosenbach. And I think you get the feeling of the pressure here. They need a score. They need a big score, like a touchdown. And Rosenbach frustrated. Heck, they had a team meeting back there on top of the quarterback. There's Johnny Scott. He's starting at the nose tackle tonight. Made a couple of key plays on a series previously, and now got the initial pressure on that sack.
Osbaldiston good on his 2nd field goal try, so that's 4 points on the board for the Tiger Cats. They're within 10 of the Shreveport Pirates. There's a little life in the Ticats yet. It's 14-4 on CFL Live. One game remaining this week in Canadian football, week number 5. Baltimore and Las Vegas, two teams with 2-2 records, and that game is tomorrow night. Smile. First and 10. Pirates will begin at the 35-yard line. They have a 10-point lead on the Tiger Cats. First touchdown set up by a turnover. And the second, a rather impressive drive engineered by Terrence Jones.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question this is the best game that he has played at quarterback for Shreveport this year. It seems to be very comfortable, and receivers have done a nice job, especially Charles Thompson getting open for him, being good targets.
On first down, over the middle, Manny Hazard makes the catch, number 83. His 9th of the season, stopped by Don Odegaard.
This is a good scheme to use against a inexperienced secondary. Here you see Thompson come out here, Hazard up the field, and then back underneath. And not only do you create some confusion, you usually get a pretty good lane to run in there, and opens up nicely. Terrence Jones once again with good time to throw it. That's a nicely designed offensive play.
Gain of 8. This is 2nd and 2. Patton gets the call, and the Tiger Cats are all over Martin Patton. Fields is there, number 95, and has Patton all wrapped up.
Yeah, Mike O'Shea, the middle linebacker, number 59, did a nice job to come in and plug into that hole too. But Jeff Fields at 320 pounds is a tough guy to move out of there in those short yardage situations. And you hear the crowd, they know who's back on the field.
Earl Winfield goes back even on special teams. Back for a 3rd down punt.
Very rarely does Earl Winfield play a game where he's feeling 100%. He's always nicked up with some sort of injury, but he is a very, very courageous player, and always 110 kind of percent guy. But he plays hurt most of the time.
Here's Winfield waiting at the 30-yard line. Lost it momentarily, and now it springs loose. Who's got the football? Looks like the Tiger Cats got that one back as Winfield bobbled it. Tim Cofield, number 55, recovers for the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, that would have been disastrous had they lost the ball there, but luckily for Winfield, Tim Cofield, 55, working the special teams on the punt return, gets the recovery.
Thought he might have got it back on the second bounce, but it didn't come to him. Timeout on the field with 2:56 to go till halftime. Ticats will have a first down when we return to Ivor Wynn and CFL Live.
Back at Ivor Wynn Stadium, where there was a good news, bad news situation on the Ticats sideline. Earl Winfield said he could go in. John Gregory patted him on the back, and Winfield winced noticeably. That can't be good if a pat in the back hurts.
Winfield is on the right side, wide right. Rosenbaugh rolling in that direction and looking for Winfield. He's in behind the cover, and he's got the ball. Touchdown, Earl Winfield. Absolutely amazing.
Well, the crowd's holding their breath here because there was a penalty marker, but Antoine Worthman, 25, will get called for interference. This is a spectacular catch, and remember, he's looking back into that very difficult sun, but as Worthman closes in here, watch the concentration. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this catch right here by Winfield. Breaks away from there, and boy, when you're counting on one player to get your team back in the hunt, it usually seems it's always number 1, Earl Winfield.
Yeah, bad ribs and all.
Well, you talk about giving your team a lift in a hurry, and go back and give Tim Rosenbaugh a few kudos for that pass he threw. He really aired that thing out, put it right on the money.
And the Ticats back within 3 of the Shreveport Pirates.
This is worth another look. One of the nicest catches you'll ever see. Tim Rowe, he just throws that as far as he can, and Earl Winfield with some pretty serious concentration to take it away from Worthman. Spectacular touchdown reception.
74 yards, Tim Rosenbaugh to Earl Winfield. Second touchdown of the season for Earl.
Well, there's a lot of pressure on this offense to perform, and Tim Rosenbaugh gave the fans here at Ivor Wynne a little glimmer of hope as he connects with Earl Winfield, the best receiver in recent Ticat history.
And that takes a little bit of the heat off John Gregory, but he's still 3 points in arrears to Forrest Gregg and the Shreveport Pirates.
Well, it's funny, these teams are so similar, searching for their identities and what kind of team are they going to be as they move into the middle of the season. And, you know, each team trying desperately to get some self-confidence, and both teams doing a little bit better tonight.
David Lucas ready to return for the Pirates. Hole opens up through the middle, and Lucas slips through near the 40-yard line. Jeff Nickel leading the tacklers for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And Terrence Jones has had a pretty good night for Shreveport. 8 of 12, 126 yards. The impressive drive we talked about, and the one touchdown toss to Wayne Walker.
Well, up until now, they've had really everything their own way, getting out to a 14-point lead. But now you feel the old momentum of this game shifting a little bit as Hamilton with the electrifying touchdown reception by Earl Winfield. So Terrence Jones would like to quiet them down in a hurry with a nice drive of his own.
2:33 to the half as Jones drops back. Got pressure, but got it away. Brad Gaines away from one tackler far side and turns this into a nifty gain out near the Ticat 40. Todd Wiseman brought him down after a 30-yard gain.
Yeah, this is the way to take advantage of the blitz in a hurry. Here comes the blitz from the outside. So who sneaks out waving his hand? But Brad Gaines, watch it. He's waving at Jones saying, hey, give it to me quick. I'm open. Look, there's not anybody within 10 yards of him. But that's nice recognition by not only the running back, but also the receiver Jones. He knows he's got to get rid of it in a hurry. Terry Wright was coming right up the gut.
A lot of heat right there from the 41. First down Shreveport. 2:07 to halftime. Jones swings this one out to the far side, and I don't think he held on. Charles Thompson couldn't squeeze the pass from Terrence Jones.
Well, that time they laid off, and Terrence Jones had all kinds of time to throw. He probably was expecting the blitz, and as Charles Thompson worked back, that was the knock on him when he played with Sacramento last year. He just simply dropped too many footballs like the one just on that play.
Battle of the quarterbacks, only 3 yards separating the two, and only 3 points on the scoreboard. This is 2nd and 10 from the 41 for Shreveport. Jones to his right. No mistake about it this time for Thompson, who hauls it in and is forced out by Greg Eaglin, number 13. The drive continues for the Pirates into the final 2 minutes of the opening half.
Yeah, nice to see the quarterback go right back to the guy who dropped it. Charles Thompson rewards Terrence Jones by making a good catch, picking up the first down. Nothing fancy about this. Just take Greg Eaglin a little bit to the inside, push off, and then break the back to the outside. Now that's a little bit of offensive interference.
Fourth catch for Thompson, now 76 yards and a first down. Make it second down for the Pirates. Or first down for the Pirates, far side of the field. They're halfway to a first down as Patton made the catch.
Well, this is a very difficult play for Hamilton to cover to the short side of the field. You get clear out, and then Patton just out to the sidelines, and you see no defensive player really goes with him. But that's pretty decent formation to overload to the short side, and you get the desired result. Your back has nobody near him.
Gain is 4. This is 2nd and 6 with 1:43 till halftime. Pirates on the Ticat 23. Pressure will be on Jones this time, and it's picked off by Todd Wiseman. Big break for the Tiger Cats. Nice return for Wiseman. Now he lost the ball, and who comes up with it? I think maybe Terry Wright of the Tiger Cats saved it for Wiseman. Some kind of first half for Terry Wright, number 7 for the Tiger Cats. He should be celebrating. He's been everywhere, Leaf.
Terry Wright's had a heck of a first half. A special teams key block for Earl Winfield. Mike O'Shea coming on the blitz with the hit on Terrence Jones. He's admiring his pass. Well, not admiring.
He shouldn't have been. He shouldn't have been, because it was not anywhere near a receiver. Wiseman playing center field back there had an easy interception.
That's his second of the season for Todd Wiseman, and it snuffs out what looked like a pretty decent Shreveport drive.
A minute 24 till halftime. Rosenbaum has an opportunity. Takes off himself and hit from behind after he's halfway to a first down. Stopped by Elford Payton.
Alfred Payton makes the tackle.
1:18 to go. Ticats have a chance to get into field goal range. It is second down.
Well, there's two schools of thought here. Do you want to go hurry up with over a minute to go? You better make the first down if you do.
And they get the first down. Lonzel Hill makes the catch. Rosenbaum right on target. And another Tiger Cat first down. It's 14-11. Shreveport leading the Tiger Cats. And Hamilton has come to life.
Yeah, good aggressive move to the football by Lonzel Hill.
Shotgun for Rosenbaum. It opens up, and Rosenbaum decides to take off himself, sliding safely for a first down near the 50 with a minute to go. Ever closer to Osbaldiston range.
Boy, watch how he undresses number 15, Brian Hilk, the outside linebacker. And this was a good choice by Rosenbaum. Lots of room to run, only really one guy to beat, and he beats Hilk rather easily.
From the 49, first down Tiger Cats. Markers are down. Winfield couldn't make the catch. Stuman was coming across.
And coming across hard, and I think that's what Earl Winfield saw. And, you know, it's funny, eh? He makes the spectacular catch for the touchdown, and then a ball he really should catch just lost his concentration briefly with Stuman coming across the middle right at him.
Ribs might be a little tender, though, Leif.
They might have been a lot more tender had Stuman made contact.
Just sort of say, well, maybe we'll let this one slide by.
I think that's what Earl did say.
It's a procedure call against the Tiger Cats.
So maybe Earl knew that, and he figured, well, if I catch it, it's going to get called back anyway. Is that fair to say?
The procedure call, the flags were early. So it's 2nd and 10, 53 seconds till halftime, with the Pirates leading the Tiger Cats 14-11. Shotgun again. Rosenbaum unloads, and it's picked off. Oh, hang on. I thought it bounced right to Avrer, but not quite. Lonzel Hill had an opportunity. Interesting play when you look back at this one. Joe Fuller in the middle of everything down there.
Well, the fans think that Joe Fuller grabbed Lonzel Hill just as he was trying to make the catch. That's what all the booing's about, but obviously the officials didn't see it that way.
Osbaldiston lines up at the 35. Bouncing for David Lucas. And rolling out of bounds near the 21. 40-yard punt for Osbaldiston.
Let's go back and take a look at that second down play that Hamilton felt they got the interference call on. Got the blitz coming in here, and this is the open area the quarterback sees. You know, you're going to get a good look at it because, you know, quarterbacks are looking for definite keys in the secondary and what they may look at. The blitz is coming up, so the middle is wide open. Hey, there's Fuller with the left arm, and I think the fans here in Hamilton and Lonzel Hill, you know, they've got to think the hand goes right in there, and I think that was definitely interference, and Fuller got away with one.
And you see Avrer at the end of the play grabbing that with one hand, but it had been ruled incomplete by that time. Bouncing up off the turf. Tiger Cats called for holding on the third down punt. So the Pirates will ask for the punt to be, or the down to be repeated. See if they can make some kind of a return out of this one. Last time Osbaldiston played it out of bounds. Booming kick, chasing Lucas back to the 20. surrounded and nailed. Pete Giftopoulos. Good downfield tackle.
Well, see, that's what he's good at. He was a linebacker at Penn State. He's now a guard. I mean, he's blocking guys, but this is what he was really good at. Here comes old number 62 chugging down the field, and boom!
Whoa.
That's a major league hit there. And, you know, Gifto, that's probably the most fun he has in a game is to go down and cover the kicks rather than playing guard.
Yeah, there was a little more glamour when Giftopoulos was playing linebacker. He's played everywhere on the offensive line except center, I think, now. Miscue, and Jones lost the ball. Recovered by the Pirates. Brad Gaines coming up with a loose ball. 24 seconds till halftime with the Pirates in front 14-11. It looked an awful lot bleaker for the Tiger Cats early in this quarter. They were down 14-0.
Well, one play puts them right back in this ball game. A long touchdown catch by Earl Winfield.
Far side, David Lucas couldn't hang on. Back to the drawing board for Terrence Jones. At the half sports break and then the halftime report, we'll look back at what happened in Canadian football yesterday and what happened in the first half here at Ivor Wynn tonight.
Boy, if you're Hamilton, you have to be thinking, try and block the punt now. Forrest Gregg knows that, and Bernie Ruoff, a former Ticat great, is their special teams coach. I'm sure he's alerted his people to that fact. But Hamilton has 11 people up, only Winfield back, and with 18 seconds to go, you have to think the heat is coming.
Aaron Canner left foots this one to Winfield at the 45. Markers are down. 7 seconds remaining on the clock. Brian Hilk made the tackle. And we'll check out the infraction here with 7 seconds to the half. It's against the Tiger Cats, so that pretty well eliminates any kind of field position they might have had. That's Michael Philbrick.
There have been a lot of flags here in the first half. It's funny, the PA announcer just said, and there's another flag on the field, and the crowd kind of laughed. There's been a few too many.
Penalty takes the ball back inside the Ticat 45.
Well, if I'm Tim Rosenbaugh with 7 seconds to go, I take a shot with Earl Winfield. Go right back at Antoine Worthman. They've got that matchup to the bottom of your screen. Let it fly.
He goes to the other side of the field and is no interception. Joe Miro is claiming that he had the interception. But it was ruled an incomplete pass.
Rosenbaugh has taken his shot so far in 1994. Got hit just as he let it go, consequently way underthrown. And there you see, was it a catch? No, I think it hit the ground first.
Time for one more play. One more chance for Rosenbaugh to air it out. Shotgun formation. Rosenbaugh to his right. There's another marker down. And Rosenbaugh fired that one for Avrera. I don't think he should have thrown the ball.
Johnny Scott had a free shot on Tim Rosenbaugh near the sideline. You're going to see it. Rosenbaugh waiting patiently for somebody to get open. It never happens. But what happens is Scott burying his helmet right in the chest of Rosenbaugh.
Penalty is declined. And that'll be the end of quarter number 1. Ticats score 11 points in a row to get back into the game, but still trail the Shreveport Pirates 14-11. Halftime from Ivor Wynn coming up with Gord Miller in just a moment.
Welcome back to Iverwin Stadium in Hamilton, where the Shreveport Pirates have a 3-point lead over the Hamilton Ticats. 14-11 is the score through 30 minutes of play. Welcome to the CFL Live halftime report. Well, week 5 of the season opened with a 4-way tie for first place in the CFL's West Division with 4 teams at 3-1. Calgary broke the tie on Wednesday night. Here's some of the action from last night in the CFL. Final play of the first quarter at Commonwealth Stadium. Henry the Gizmo Williams takes this missed field goal from Dave Ridgway of Saskatchewan and heads up the field. And the Gizmo, who's done this so many times before, goes 115 yards for the touchdown. What he hasn't been doing lately is this, the flip. And after going 115, why not? Then, with the score 8-6, Damon Allen finds Eddie Brown for one of his 2 touchdowns in the game. This covers 44 yards. Edmonton led 15-6 and goes on to win it by a final score of 42-23. So Edmonton joins Calgary at 4-1 in top spot in the West Division. Now we go on to Skydome in Toronto. It's the Bombers and the Argos. Score 19-14 Winnipeg. Matt Dunnigan goes to Gerald Wilcox for one of his 2 on the day. Wilcox had 177 receiving. That made it 26-14, and the lead increases immediately in the second half. Opening kickoff taken by Norris Thomas, who goes up the middle and then outside, 97 yards for the touchdown. Winnipeg in front 33-14. Goes on to jog over Toronto by a final of 54-34. Dunnigan, the CFL's leading passer, with another big game, 421 yards and 5 touchdowns. Now, BC Place, it's Sacramento taking on the Lions. David Archer sacked early on by Angelo Snipes. Third quarter now scored 22-3 in favor of BC. The flip to Corey Philpott with the throw to Ray Alexander, so the Lions go into their bag of tricks. They join Edmonton and Calgary at 4-1 in the West Division. 46-10 the score for the BC Lions. Trevathan and Millington had a pair of touchdowns each. And tomorrow, Baltimore plays Las Vegas. If the Baltimore Colts win this game, the CFL whatever we should call them, Baltimore wins it, they'll join Winnipeg in top spot in the CFL's East Division. So things at the top are getting wild, especially in the West. But the top teams in the West now all start to play each other. And it all culminates this month with the Labor Day matchups, including Edmonton and Calgary in the annual long weekend game. Here it is Shreveport leading Hamilton by 3. We're back with more at halftime on the CFL Live right after this.
Cost Hamilton dearly in the opening sequence, and that was the way that Shreveport got on the scoreboard.
Well, it really was, John. You know, as a struggling team, you always like to get a nice break early, and for the Shreveport Pirates, it came very early. Mishandled snap by Tim Rosenbaugh. They recovered the fumble, and then a couple of plays later, it was the rookie running back, Martin Patton, blasting his way into the end zone. And for a struggling offense, nice way to start, capitalize on the turnover with a big touchdown.
And following that for the Pirates, Terrence Jones engineered a rather impressive march.
Well, Wayne Walker is a very speedy receiver. They line him up in the slot back. He's working on the rookie Don Odegaard, and on the post corner, it's no contest as Walker gets into the end zone easily with Shreveport's second touchdown.
14-0 at that stage, and then Earl Winfield makes a spectacular play here.
Well, he's playing with sore ribs and all, but he's able to blow by Antoine Worthman, the corner, and really concentrate unbelievably well as he hauls in that pass. That was a 79-yard touchdown pass by Tim Rosenbaugh, and Earl Winfield with the great catch, and as he always seems to do, at the right time, get his team back into a game.
Yeah, true grit by Earl Winfield, who gets the Tiger Cats back into this one. They trail by 3 at the half. Not much to choose between these two winless teams. In the opening half, 9 first downs for the Pirates, 10 for the Tiger Cats. Yards passing within 3, yards rushing, a slight edge to the Tiger Cats. And the 1 turnover each time of possession within a minute, 15:04 to 14:56, actually within about 8 seconds when you look at it there. And Tim Rosenbaugh had a pretty solid beginning to the ball game and didn't get to the end zone, and then finally hooked up with Earl Winfield on a beautiful 79-yard touchdown.
Well, he's looking a little better than he did, and Terrence Jones is looking an awful lot better than he has in the first 4 games.
Yeah, we saw Terrence Jones week 1 in Ottawa, and he completed just 1 pass. So Forrest Gregg and the Shreveport Pirates trying to get on the winning track for the first time in 1994, first time in franchise history. The quarterback comparison looks like this: 1 touchdown, 1 interception for Jones. Rosenbaugh 11 of 19 for 173 yards.
Here we go, the final shot now.
Of concern to John Gregory at halftime is Earl Winfield. He came right off the bench, caught that big touchdown pass. Moments after that, fumbled a punt. They really feel the ribs are bothering him. He has yet to come out of the dressing room. They say he will, but right now they're taping his ribs and trying to fit him for a flak jacket so he can continue. Under normal circumstances, they likely wouldn't, but this game very important to the Hamilton Ticats. Pain or no pain, we'll see Earl Winfield in the second half.
It is very important to the Tiger Cats after a 0-4 start, a team that has struggled over the past couple of seasons and is trying to get some credibility in this city and get a few fans back in the ball yard, and they need a victory at home tonight.
Well, they've got an excellent core of fans here in the city. They have to try and attract the new ones, and boy, it's not certainly one of the reasons why Winfield will try and come back. And
Earl's put on a little weight there.
yeah, that is the flak jacket, an awfully painful injury. Anybody that's had some sore ribs knows that every time you move, sneeze, cough, whatever you do, that it's very painful, but nice to see a gritty effort by Earl Winfield to continue in this game.
Helps to be quick on the touchdown he caught. He was not touched. He was able to get in behind and ran unmolested to the end zone for 79 yards.
I must say that I tried to play with a flak jacket at one time too, and they're awfully cumbersome and not very comfortable, especially after you've caught the ball and you try to tuck it away. All of a sudden you're tucking it away into this hard fiberglass, and it's very difficult.
Second half is underway. Cornell Burbage on the return for the Tiger Cats, and he's met by the first Pirates upfield, stopped at the 32-yard line. Mario Perry leading the tacklers that time. And Winfield is into the lineup for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Well, John, they've had success in that first half with their offense, spreading those receivers, using that 5-pack across the field. Only one running back, either Dave Denal or John Hood. And you know what Tim Rosenbaugh just has to do is, I think, dump the ball off a little quicker than he did in the first half. Use Joey Yock. Use Ken Avrare and your running backs. Get them involved.
He's got the running back involved already. Number 24, John Hood, got the first call. And Hood is out across the 35-yard line to about the 37. Met there by Ronnie Halliburton, number 94.
But John, this is what we're talking about. Here's the 5-pack, Yock, Avrare, and then wide receiver Winfield. Then you got 5 back to the other side. And what you're trying to do is just spread that defense out and use the entire field and open up some lanes with it. And you know, it's an effective package, and glad to see Hamilton being a little more creative.
5-yard gain. This is 2nd and 5, and Rosenbaugh far side. Burbage makes the catch, and it'll be a Ticat first down.
Boy, Tim Rosenbaugh's receivers have really made some aggressive moves to the football tonight. Lonzel Hill did in the first half, and now Cornell Burbage on the outside goes high in the air, exposes the body to the hit. But that is a spectacular catch, and you know, the big plays, if you start to mount them together, you can have some success.
Joe Miro covering on Burbage that time. It is a first down, Tiger Cats. And Hood gets the call. Here's Hood breaking one. Hood out across the 50 and stopped by Daniel Hunter, the Shreveport safety.
And John, when you spread the defense out with that 5-pack, sometimes you can open up some pretty decent lanes inside to run within. The right tackle, Dave Richardson, watch, he traps up through, and Dave Denal right up with a huge hole to run through. But you see, by spreading that defense out, it doesn't take a lot of great blocks to open some pretty decent holes for your running backs.
16-yard gain for Hood. It is a first down for the Tiger Cats at the 47. Long pass, wide open. And Hill is down to the 10. Joe Fuller over to make the tackle on Lonzel Hill. Rosenbaugh hot to start the second half.
Yeah, this is the way you hope your team comes out after the halftime break. And here Rosenbaugh, slight roll to the wide side of the field and doesn't even look back until the last second to find Lonzel Hill, who ran the out and up down the sideline. An excellent pattern to get in behind Joe Fuller.
Ticats set up at the 10-yard line. Solid march. Lonzel Hill with 5 catches for 72 yards on the night. This is Hood, and there's only about a yard, maybe 2 for John Hood that time, as he ran into Shannon Cornelius. Alfred Payton also in the area.
Well, now what the Ticats really need to do is cap off this drive with a touchdown. Yeah, the field goal, you'd take it if you stall it right here, but they have come out really on fire here in the second half, and you know, we've talked about it so many times, a team that is searching for that identity and a confidence builder. This would certainly go a long way to improving that confidence to take this lovely drive all the way.
Ticats, 2nd and 9. Markers are down and too long in the huddle, it looks like, against Rosenbaugh. It's a procedure call against the Tiger Cats when they were down at the 10-yard line with a 1st and goal to go. Costly error.
Illegal procedure, Hamilton number 51, 2nd down and 8.
That's a procedure call against Dave Richardson. So it'll be 2nd down and 15. Rosenbaugh to the end zone. Joey Yack was in behind the cover in a nice defensive play. Camerati batting it away, number 31.
And usually you think that's a good matchup to have your slot back against the linebacker, but Caparati in this case is a converted defensive back. He closes the gap nicely, and boy, at the last second the left hand comes out and denies Joey Yack the touchdown reception. And you know, Rosenbaugh's disappointed. Had he thrown that just a little bit farther, there's no way that Caparati could have made that knockdown.
They'll settle for an Osbaldiston field goal try, and Ozzie is good. All even at 14 as the Tiger Cats drive for 3. You're watching CFL.
Welcome back to Iverwin Stadium in Hamilton. Tom Mickey warmed up a moment ago on the Shreveport sideline, but Terrence Jones comes back in at quarterback for the Pirates, and you wonder how long they'll stick with Terrence Jones, needing victories badly. Jones has had his problems on and off the field this season for Shreveport. Tom Mickey was steady with Edmonton, but released early in their training camp. He's been warming up, but he remains on the sidelines, guys.
Well, Rosenbaugh is going to remain in the game for a while. He had a solid drive for the Tiger Cats. Stalled down near the 10-yard line. A procedure call on 2nd down. And they were forced into a long situation. He had Yack open in the end zone. That's Rosenbaugh, and solid defensive play by the Pirates.
Well, Terrence Jones been sitting on the bench for about 5-6 minutes here to begin the second half, and what he has to do is just stick with a pretty solid game plan. His underneath pass patterns have worked very well to slot back Charles Thompson, and he's involved Martin Patton out of the backfield very nicely. But you know, against the Hamilton defense that usually rushes 4 and will drop the linebackers off quite a distance, it's your game plan has to be primarily, let's think underneath, and Terrence Jones has done a nice job in the first half, and we'll see if he can continue to do so here in the 3rd quarter.
1st down Shreveport, beginning at the 35-yard line. Wayne Walker to the near side. 2 backs in behind Jones, who drops straight back, comes to the near side and has Walker. Walker should have the 1st down. He's very close. Eric Carter, the rookie cornerback for the Tiger Cats, number 9, making his first start. Had Walker that time.
Well, you get a good look at Eric Carter and his technique, and it's just to stay deep and make sure Walker doesn't get in behind you, giving him a big cushion. And understandably so, this is Carter's first game on the corner, and you know, the worst thing he wants to do is get beaten deep, so he's willing to give those receivers a lot of cushion.
Just short of the 1st down. This is 2nd, less than a yard to go, and Jones didn't get a real good start at that, but simply falling ahead should give it a 1st down. Manny Hazard, the most valuable player on the Toronto Argonauts in 1993. Couldn't make the squad this time and ended up in Shreveport.
Now it's funny, I asked Bob Abilovich about that. You know, here's your number 1 receiver from a year ago, can't make the team. The fans are wondering why. He said he was not one of our 4 best. I guess that's a pretty solid reason.
Argos are going to sign Tommy Kane tomorrow.
I hear that.
1st down, and Jones sends Walker deep. It's picked off. Eric Carter has the interception. He won't get a return. but he stayed with Wayne Walker stride for stride.
Getting a little extra conditioning in as he goes all the way down the field to give it to one of his fans that's here to watch him play in his first game. But, you know, at tiny Knoxville College in a 4-year career, he had 22 interceptions. So, you know, he has some kind of skill at that position, just whether he can carry it over to the pros. And that time in perfect position to make his first interception as a Tiger Cat. They had him in camp, had him in the preseason. He's been on the practice roster. Now tonight getting a chance to play, and that's a pretty solid defensive play by the youngster.
Carter from Knoxville, as you say, he was the most valuable player on his football team, his basketball team, and the most valuable track athlete at Knoxville as well. Injured Pirate. We'll get back to check out that story in a moment. A couple of happy fans. They must be cheering for the Tiger Cats, who've turned things around and are back to even with Shreveport. Back live at Ivor Wynn. The Tiger Cats are snarling. Well, some of them are anyway. The Ticats back into this one at 14-14 after falling behind 14-0. Tom Mickey warming up on the sideline for the Pirates. We may see him in a moment or two, but meantime, it's Tiger Cat football after a big interception by the rookie Eric Carter. Got the Cats out of a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, you saw the numbers from Tom Mickey. That was a week ago when he relieved Terrence Jones early in that ball game.
Meantime, first down Ticats at the 11-yard line. Just nicely into the third quarter. Some heat on Rosenbaugh as he rolls right and finds Earl Winfield. First down, Hamilton. Stillman was chasing the Ticat quarterback Rosenbaugh.
That's a nice call to get Rosenbaugh to the outside. Just change the target of the pocket a little bit for the pass rushers. Not always straight drop back, and just keep the defensive line guessing as to where Rosenbaugh will set up to throw.
From the 29-yard line, Rosenbaugh uses the shotgun. Here comes the heat. He releases over the middle, and John Hood has a big gain for the Tiger Cats. Still going as he crosses the 50-yard line. Daniel Hunter finally brought him down. Great play, John Hood.
Well, what you want to do on a screen is invite all the defensive linemen upfield. Here they come, and then John Hood sits right in there, and after he gets through that initial wave of 4 guys, Rosenbaugh dumps it off with perfect timing, and now, hey, here's Hood. Look at the convoy in front. That's about the nicest center screen that I've seen in a long time, and the Ticats have really clicked here in the third quarter.
37-yard gain, and Rosenbaugh looks for Ken Avrere on first down. Tahana was covering number 9, and Gregory thinks there might have been a call there, but no markers anywhere.
Now, going back to that center screen that Tim Rosenbaugh just threw, I mean, it's one thing to execute perfectly. It's second to get the right defense at the right time. With only 4 guys rushing, everybody dropping off, I mean, you had the convoy all set for John Hood, and that was, well, Winfield's touchdown catch was pretty, but I think that one ranks right up there as the nicest play of the night.
It was a great one. 34 yards for John Hood. This is now 2nd and 10. Rosenbaugh over the middle for Avrere. He's got it in behind the cover, down to the 10. Don Caparati saved the touchdown for the Pirates. Marker down in the Tiger Cat backfield.
Holding Hamilton, number 50.
What Ken Avrere does so well is close the gap quickly. Watch how quickly he gets into the body of Tejeda here, and then spreads it, works it back to the corner. But look, the gap is closed. Tejeda's feet stop working, and Ken Avrere is home free, and that's a lovely thrown ball by Rosenbaugh. We're going to show it to you because it was so nice. However, it will come back.
Yeah, Val Germain nailed for holding. He's the rookie at left tackle.
And he has struggled.
Working against Peyton for the most part. 2nd and 20. Rosenbaugh goes to the far side. Lonzel Hill was the intended receiver. little bumping along the sidelines, but no markers, and Gregory is looking for any kind of a call except one that goes against him.
It's interesting to watch the visual frustrations of coaches throughout the league. You know, you watch an Adam Reed in Ottawa, he is adamant. He will not let his players see how he is feeling inside. This is the exception. John Gregory.
I think he's a little cooler on the sidelines most times, but there's a little pressure here.
Well, his players know all the time what his reaction, how he is feeling throughout a ball game.
Big pressure on Osbaldiston. He got it away. Here's Lucas, stopped by the first Tiger Cat and then surrounded by about 4 more and driven back. 44-yard punt by Osbaldiston. And Tom Mickey has his hat on. Tom Mickey, good on 19 of 32 for 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Had some good times in Winnipeg as a backup. Played well for the Eskimos at times, won a couple of big games, and actually was the most valuable player of the week one week. Was that last year or the year before when he came on and threw about 4 touchdowns in an Eskimo victory?
Yeah, it was against the Toronto Argonauts in a game that I believe Damon Allen was hurt in that one.
We'll see if he can kickstart the Shreveport offense. That's Tom Mickey. It's all even at 14 on CFL Live. Shreveport Pirates open a 14-0 lead. The Tiger Cats are back to even. We're in the 3rd quarter with 7:25 to play and a first down. Shreveport, Tom Mickey at the controls now. Mickey looks to his left and has Wayne Walker. He's hit immediately. Eric Carter made the tackle.
John, I think one of the reasons that Forrest Gregg made the switch at quarterback to Tom Mickey was probably a little more experience. Tom Mickey very good at dissecting a defense, understanding what kind of coverages that they're in, and no question when he was on the sidelines, he saw that Eric Carter was giving Wayne Walker a lot of room. But Carter, of course, had the interception, but he's allowing those wide receivers to have those 10-yard outs, and I don't think Tom Mickey didn't see that when he was on the bench, and maybe his experience is one of the reasons why they made the switch in a 14-14 tie.
Injured player is Terry Beauford, number 66, a 6'3" 300-pounder from Florida A&M.
Numbers last week, a week ago for Tom Mickey. There you see 11 of 22 against the Edmonton Eskimos. The team that released him in training camp.
Yeah.
Said he was surprised by that. I asked him tonight before the game, did you have any inkling that you were going to be let go? And he said, nope. Just one day it happened, but to their credit, they let me go early enough that I could catch on with somebody else. Took a few weeks before he landed in Shreveport, which is pretty close to where he lives, makes his off-season home.
Could be a good deal all around if Mickey can come on and play a little bit for the Pirates with CFL experience and a little more CFL success at times than Terrence Jones.
Geez, Matt Dunnigan's had a hot hand once again last night. He dissects the Toronto Argonauts secondary. Gerald Wilcox with a big night, making some outstanding catches.
Another 5 touchdowns for Dunnigan.
Yeah,
Damon Allen a couple there, and one along the ground as they almost double the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
How about the BC Lions? They absolutely annihilate the Sacramento Gold Miners. There you see Trevathan and Millington, 2 touchdowns each, but a footnote to that game, Charlie Gordon, corner for the BC Lions with 3 interceptions. So a defense that a lot of people thought might be suspect at the beginning of the year has turned out to be pretty solid for the BC Lions.
Yeah, and the Lions back on track, as well as the Eskimos, all tied with Calgary for top spot in the West at 4-1. 1st and 10. Shreveport Pirates as Mickey unloads over the middle to about the 31-yard line. Charles Thompson made the catch. Rather, Martin Patton, number 5.
But this is the kind of offense that Tom Mickey directs so well. It's the short passing game. You see the out to Walker for about 10 yards, and now the little dump over the middle to Patton, and this is Tom Mickey's forte, just a ball control style of offense with the passing game. Hey, you don't have to throw deep every time, but just work that ball control passing game.
In his 4, 2nd and 6 as Mickey comes to the near side. Solid defensive play by Carter on Wayne Walker, the intended receiver, and he's come to life.
Well, Eric Carter did, he's kind of backing off, and then he looks into the backfield, reads Tom Mickey, and with good acceleration, watch the left arm right in there. And boy, he's thinking interception right here. But, he's got a lot of confidence for a young guy.
I'd say so.
What you do is okay, we'll give him the out. We'll give him the out, and then one time I'm going to come up and bite you. And he almost did right there with almost had his second interception.
Yeah, he reacted well to that. It's third down now, Shreveport.
Well, the best corners throughout the league, guys like Les Brown and Andre Francis, those guys who lay in the weeds and they kind of set a quarterback up. It almost looked like, Eric Carter as a youngster was doing the same thing to Mickey.
Wayne Walker, the injured Shreveport player.
Another injured player, and he's on the sidelines. It's Walker.
That's cramps.
Yeah. Can't get up.
Yeah, the calves have tightened right up, and watch.
They forgot about him over there. He was covered by Carter on the last pass from Mickey and sort of ended up on the sideline. Nobody could see him.
He's a little guy, he's only 5'9". He's not happy, Terrence Jones. I mean, it's a 14-14 tie, and you really know what's going through his mind. Yeah, Tom Mickey's come in the game, and well, I'm sure as a fierce competitor, and I know Terrence Jones is. He's saying, heck, I think things in control, but the coach made the decision, but I know he's not happy with it.
Well, he's not behind, so when you do go out at even, a little more concern if you're the starting quarterback. Well, they have Wayne Walker all sorted out, and he heads to the far sideline.
It's funny, Hamilton storms out in the second half here with a beautiful drive. They get a field goal to tie this game up and had a lot of momentum. But now with a few injuries and a commercial timeout here and there, you feel the pace of the game has slowed right back down again. And I think that's in Shreveport's favor.
Burbage is deep, and Winfield is not on this particular special team. Dave Donnell is back there alongside Cornell Burbage for this third down punt, and it's almost blocked. Marker is down. Terry Wright was through to hit the Shreveport punter, Canner, and Donnell is wrestled out at the 45. A 36-yard punt, and Wright is going to be called for contacting the kicker.
And how in the world did he miss blocking this punt? Terry Wright extends, and it just is over the hands, and he makes contact. And
contacting the kicker, Hamilton, number 7, first down.
Fine line between getting the block and contacting the kicker.
Yeah, well, that's one of those plays where, you say, hey, I'm going after it. I'm going to make the block, regardless of running into the kicker. I feel like I can make the block. He didn't. And, of course, the contact was inevitable.
So Tom Mickey will get another chance here. In conversation on the far side with his head coach, Forrest Gregg, and Mickey will be first down out across the 40-yard line at the 41.5. Pirates and the Tiger Cats even at 14. Mickey on first down. And that one batted at the line of scrimmage. Lucas was the intended receiver. A couple of Tiger Cats tried to get to it, but it came up a little short.
Well, what Tom Mickey's trying to do is emulate what the Ticats have done tonight. You got 5 quick receivers out here, and look how the defense of the Ticats is spread out. I mean, they don't complete the ball, but I mean, that's what you want to do. This field's 65 yards wide, and boy, what you want to do is stretch it as wide as you can and create some openings for your receivers that way. 5-pack's a good style.
They spread them out again. Not quite as many receivers out there this time. Patton makes the catch one-handed, but it was well read by the Ticat defense led by Hassan Bailey and Jeff Fields, number 95.
Martin Patton makes the nice one-hander here, but it really doesn't mean a lot because Hassan Bailey, number 35, who's playing his first game, is right there to go helmet to helmet with Patton. And believe me, Bailey won that battle, and the Ticats another good series on defense. Boy, they've come out charged up here in the third quarter.
Defense has played very well for the Tiger Cats. It's all even at 14, 5:02 to go. Third quarter. And Aaron Canner stands back near his 25. Not a deep kick this time. Bouncing toward David Donnell. And he was met by Eldonta Osborne, a 30-yard punt, very little return. And the Tiger Cats come away with pretty good field position as a result of the exchange.
Yeah, they've had good field position this entire third quarter. And, you know, this is where Tim Rosenbaugh, his offense is going to mature and mature in a hurry. You have to start to take advantage of this field position. He's got good numbers. I mean, that's pretty decent numbers for halfway through the third quarter. But, hey, he's got an opportunity to really take control of this game in a pressure situation. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, important sequence here if the Tiger Cats want to win this game. 4:36 to go, third quarter. John Hood can't find any running room that time. Maybe a yard. Stuman was in there, number 95. Hood averaging 4.7 yards a carry. On the injury list for the first game, but Hood has played in 3 since. Gain was 2. It is 2nd and 8 Ticats. Rosenbaugh shotgun. Markers down again. Winfield can't make the catch. Antoine Worthman was covering. And there are markers down. So is the quarterback. Johnny Halliburton got to the quarterback, but holding is the indication.
Holding, Hamilton number 62, decline, third down.
That's Peter Gathopoulos that time. It's an offensive line that has struggled a little bit because of injury. Mainly to Dale Sanderson, who's still on the injury list. He's the regular center for the Tiger Cats, or at least was last year.
You know, 4.5 games, Tim Rosenbaugh has taken a lot of hits. He's almost taken a season's worth of hits in these games.
16 sacks allowed by the Tiger Cats coming into this one. So that shows you there are a few problems on the offensive line. Here now, David Lucas returning for the Pirates, and another marker down. Lucas decked near the 22. A 48-yard punt. Donnell leading the way for the Hamilton Ticat Tacklers. 14 all, 3:34 to go, third quarter.
Pretty solid shot by Dave Donnell, number 12 there, who, as well as having some great runs at running back tonight, gets to play those special teams. Watch as Lucas cuts back to the inside. Who's waiting for it? Helmet to helmet once again. And boy, the Ticats have always been known for a good, tough defense and some very aggressive special teams.
An illegal block thrown by the Pirates, and that'll move the ball back.
Oh, another penalty?
Yes, there have been a few. Back inside the 10-yard line at the 9 is where Tom Mickey will begin this drive.
Too many penalties for everybody.
I think you're right. Mickey releasing in a hurry. Smith makes the catch, number 88, and steps out of bounds.
Eric Carter shot the touch. In 5 yards.
5-yard gain. Both teams looking for their first win of 1994. It looked bad for the Tiger Cats early, but they're back to even now. The Pirates seem to be struggling a little more. Tom Mickey at the controls. Brad Gaines, the intended receiver, and Mickey overthrew him.
And Terry Wright made a very calculated gamble that he could come underneath the running back who he had in man-to-man coverage and force Mickey either to throw the interception or throw it up and over and away. And I mean, that's a play that he can make. He's got confidence that he makes the right moves. It's an instinctive move, something that he does very well. You know, I think the defense is probably saying to themselves, heck, now we've set our guys up in pretty good field position a number of times and nothing's happened. So
now is the hour, right?
Well, maybe we're going to have to do it ourselves on defense, or maybe through special teams, because the offense only had 1 field goal with great field position in this half.
Canner's kick taken by Cornell Burbage. Instant field position as Burbage finds his way through to the 32-yard line. 28-yard punts. Decent return. Eldonta Osborne. on the tackle, and the defense can't do much more than this for Tim Rosenbaum. 31-yard line, first down. Time to hit the end zone.
Well, he hasn't started in the shadow of his old goalpost too many times tonight.
He's almost in the shadow of the Shreveport goalpost
You
here.
bet.
2:17 to go, third quarter. Rosenbach shotgun. Burbage coming across, makes the catch. First down. He's inside the 20. Don Caparati, Joe Miro in on the tackle. Something to cheer about in Ty-Town.
That's a nice looking play. Everybody is on the move at the snap of the ball. You get lots of motion coming. Burbage takes it on the fly, gets the block from Val St. Germain out in front, and that's a nice play.
Ticats first and 10 at the Shreveport 18. Again, the shotgun. End zone toss for Winfield. He makes the catch. That's 2 for Earl Winfield. That's a gritty performance, Leaf. We talked about it before. A rib problem in the first half. Came back, caught a touchdown shortly after that. And this is a pretty good touchdown, too.
Well, he could hardly spike it at the end of this one. A little swim technique to get over the top, and then watch how he fights back through and Antoine Worthman to make that catch. And of course, lands right on those ribs once again, but pretty gutsy, gritty performance. All the superlatives you might want to give him, but great concentration as well to make another spectacular touchdown catch.
Fine player, superb individual. Earl Winfield has played 8 seasons as a Tiger Cats, and he's had an outstanding time in Hamilton.
Antoine Worthman, the corner, wants to come up and challenge Earl Winfield with the bump and run technique. Here they are right down here, but watch the little swim technique right here, and then Winfield is off and running, and you know, Worthman just can really never recover. That's a technique defensive linemen use, but Winfield uses that swim over the top, but really never gets past Worthman, but he concentrates so well on the football, comes back to it, and finally the Ticats capitalize on some outstanding field position and come away with a touchdown.
18 yards to Earl Winfield.
He could barely get up off the ground after he made that.
He was a little slow getting up again.
Yeah, he was thinking about giving it a spike, and he just said, oh boy, I better save my energy.
He has come back to ignite the Tiger Cats, scored 2 touchdowns, and Hamilton in the lead for the first time at 21-14.
Yeah, and if his performance is not an inspiration to the other guys on the sidelines, then nothing will ever be.
You're absolutely right. Here's Lucas on the return for the Pirates from the Ticat kickoff. David Lucas, decent return. He's out across the 35 and stopped at the 37. Hassan Bailey and Lee Knight in on the tackle. Earl Winfield, 4 catches, 119 yards, and a couple of 6-pointers.
Well, as you can see, he hasn't had a lot of receptions, but they sure have been big ones. 2 179-yarder, and now this one for a touchdown. Tough to see at the back there. You know, look at his back. He's got that flak jacket, little protrusion, and hasn't seemed to have hindered him as he's running his pass routes.
First and 10 for the Pirates now. 1:07 to go, third quarter. Shreveport beginning at the 38-yard line with Tom Mickey at the controls. Little draw play to Brad Gaines. And the Ticat defense is fired up. Reggie Rogers in on that tackle, along with Hassan Bailey. He's getting his first start as a Tiger Cat.
You know what Todd Wiseman, the veteran safety, said before the game? You know, Leaf, we've got a lot of young guys playing in the secondary, but sometimes they have a high level of enthusiasm playing in their first games. Guys like Hassan Bailey, and well, you can see that now. They really want to take charge of this game.
And Eric Carter on the right corner has made his presence known tonight. Mickey for Charles Thompson. Got one hand on it, couldn't get the other, and Mickey felt a little heat from Reggie Rogers.
But John, they haven't had a lot to cheer about here in Hamilton in 1994. Still looking for their first victory, but all of a sudden, a very appreciative group here at Ivor Wynne as the defense has played solid. The offense has come alive, and Hey, the hometown club is ahead by 7.
Another solid sequence for the defense. The defense did have a couple of sequences prior to that to give the offense good field position. Canner across the 30 to left foot this one high. And Burbage takes it near the 32. Some room to the outside. Markers down again. Burbage out at the 49. Chuck Reed forcing him out, number 58. So the Tiger Cats definitely alive. That is the end of the third quarter with Hamilton out in front of Shreveport by a touchdown. It's 21-14. Ticats with a 21-14 lead on the Shreveport Pirates as the teams change ends and get set for the fourth quarter. Slight malfunction on the clock here, reading 14:43. Hamilton trying to stage the Grey Cup in 1996. Will it be here or Baltimore? Edmonton also looking for it. There's Captain Canada under the Tilly.
Got some on Earl here.
Well, the U.S. cities are lobbying hard to have it in Baltimore to try and create not only some interest but some awareness in the United States as to just what the Grey Cup is. Interesting to see who gets it.
First play, fourth quarter, and a penalty as Lonzel Hill can't bring in that toss from Rosenbaum. I don't know how many penalties we've seen tonight, but this one is going against the Pirates, so they're a little happier in Hamilton.
Offside, Shreveport number 94, first down.
That's Ronnie Halliburton.
First down. On the Hamilton 46-yard line.
Was a receiver in high school. But plays defensive end as a pro. First down, Tiger Cats at the 47. It'll be a first down as, hang on, they rule Lonzel Hill was out of bounds.
Lonzel Hill makes a reception out of bounds.
Numbers through three quarters, 263 passing yards for the Tiger Cats. They've opened up a pretty wide advantage there. 77 rushing yards, and it's 331 net for the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, and the Ticats, you can see, have slowly taken over this game, scoring 10 points in that third quarter. Shreveport did not get on the scoreboard. 21-14 for Hamilton, but a solid third quarter for the Ticats.
Second and 10, Rosenbaum looks long, far side. Earl Winfield can't make the catch.
And I really think the flak jacket hinders you trying to make a catch like that. He was just trying to go downfield, slide, and make it, but I think it bounced actually off the flak jacket. They're going to get a good look at it right here. As you know, Rosenbaum put the ball in a good spot. That was the opening for Winfield to work into. But there you see, well,
yeah,
actually it hit the ground first, but that's a difficult play to make with that cumbersome piece of equipment on.
Just talked to Earl a second ago, Leaf. He says, I twisted my ankle. My ribs are killing me, so I feel like an old man. 33 tomorrow is Earl Winfield, and he'll feel it on his birthday.
Well, happy birthday, Earl.
I would say Earl's in line for a few days off this week.
I would think this might be in order. Here's David Lucas on the return for the Pirates. Well covered by Ticat special teams, 41-yard punts, and a couple on the return. P.J. Martin was there, so was Steve McKee, number 91. And let's see what Tom Mickey can do with a Pirate offense this time.
Well, the good news for Tom Mickey is you had a horrible, tough third quarter where you didn't do much of anything, didn't score any points, but hey, you begin the fourth only 7 points down, and you know that's the good news for this team. If he can start to generate something, they have a great chance to win this game.
Long way from over. Fourth quarter just underway. 13:28 to play with the Ticats in front by a touchdown. First and 10, Pirates from the 27. Mickey flushed out of the pocket, slipped it out for gains And he's very close to a first down. In fact, he'll have it. Number 38, Brad Gaines, stopped by Hassan Bailey, number 35.
And if the name sounds slightly familiar, there was a Chris Gaines that was an excellent middle linebacker a few years ago for the Toronto Argonauts. This is younger brother Brad, playing running back for the Shreveport Pirates. Nice catch there. Works his way up for a first down.
Now at the 38-yard line, first down Pirates. 3 receivers far side of the field. Shotgun for Mickey. Goes to Tony Moss, and Moss is got from behind. Left halfback Greg Eaglin in his second straight start. Made the stop on Moss that time.
John, this is really what Tom Mickey is best at. A little dump off to the running back on first down. Now he picks up the first down, throw the out to Tony Moss. But this is the style that Tom Mickey has made a name for himself in all his years in the Canadian Football League. You don't see him throw over the top too often. He will do it on occasion, but that little ball control style with the passing game, that's his forte.
First down right on the 50-yard line for Shreveport. And a quick pass for Moss once more. He's surrounded, but he has near 7 yards.
Well, Tom Mickey's a pretty smart quarterback. He knows that Hamilton in this situation will probably not blitz anybody until they get deeper down and backed up into their own territory. So he's taking advantage of that with the outside linebacker. In this case, Hassan Bailey dropping off, and he just comes underneath him. That's a solid first down play.
Second and a long 3, Shreveport. Mickey hit from behind. Mike Philbrick, number 99, 6 tackles last week. Gets a sack here tonight. John Gregory very impressed with his play. Philbrick kicked around Ottawa and Calgary on the practice roster. Comes through with a big sack here.
Well, just when you think Shreveport's getting some momentum back and going to get back in this game, here comes Mike Philbrick with the key sack. There he is coming from the side right in here on Mickey, and Mickey doesn't stand a chance. The blind side hit. Once again, the Ticat defense comes up with another big play. Gave up a few first downs, but it really didn't hurt them.
Canner. This is Burbage near the 20-yard line. And nowhere to go. He's fired into the cement. Osborne, number 46, took Burbage into the wall.
You know, that's a real fine line call here. They made contact with Burbage before he went out of bounds, and I don't know. I think the officials are a little flag happy tonight.
Actually, the 2 Pirates got the worst of the wall, didn't they?
Major foul. Unnecessary roughness. 46 Shreveport. First down.
If that had been in a field without that wall, it wouldn't have been called.
And here now the storyline for Dodge Trucks, reinventing the truck. It's been Mr. Winfield tonight, injured and returning to score 2 touchdowns for the Tiger Cats for their margin of lead right now. It could be the margin of victory, but for now there's 10:56 to play, 4th quarter. First down Tiger Cats. Donnell gets the call, and he's near the 40-yard line. Halliburton made the stop, number 94. Anxious night for John Gregory, angry at a couple of calls early, feeling the pressure as the game began. But he has to be happy with what's been going on lately.
Well, from what I've seen tonight of number 12, Dave Donnell, I have no idea why they're playing an import in the backfield and wasting a position there. This kid can play, he can start. Whether he has if he can stay mentally tough each and every play, each and every game remains to be seen, but he should be the full-time starter.
Here's Ken Avrere with a first down for the Tiger Cats on 2nd and 7. Tackle made by Brian Hilt, making his 2nd start for the Pirates. And this, Tim Rosenbach has put on a pretty good show.
Yeah, and he's taken a lot of hits tonight, too. Watch as he delivers this football. He gets smoked once again. Safety blitz by Daniel Hunter, 27, but give Rosenbach credit. He has hung in there, and he delivered a strike to Avrere.
Out to the 51 with a first down for the Tiger Cats now. Winfield to the far side. Rosenbach goes to Avrere deep near the 40. And he's wrestled out by Kip Tejada.
And Ronnie Halliburton roughed up Tim Rosenbaugh after he released that ball, so tack on another 15. But, well, you have to be impressed with the courage of Tim Rosenbaugh. Once again, he's taking hit after hit, but like a Timex watch, he just keeps on ticking because he throws another strike to Ken Avrer, who's become his favorite receiver all of a sudden. But in a short period of time, Ticats have marched that ball down the field nicely.
Yeah, 2 in a row for Avrer. Good catch there, and that on the roughing penalty for Avrer as he picked up 19 yards, total of 46 on the night. First down, end zone toss to Earl Winfield. He's got it. No, couldn't hang on. He's out on the parking lot.
Well, it's funny how the protection goes. Shreveport brought everybody that time, but they gave Rosenbaugh time to throw, and boy, that would have been one of the easier catches that Winfield has made tonight. Warsman got the arm in a little bit, but it's looked as though Winfield might have been able to make that reception. I think on second down here, Tim Rosenbaugh has to expect a lot of people coming in. I think he should work into that middle area. Good numbers.
Yeah, closing in on 300. 2nd and 10 from the 25. And here they come, Rosenbaugh for Avrer. He hangs on, and they say he was down at the 1. Good effort by Avrer on a hit. After the hit by Hunter, he tried to sneak into the end zone, but they nailed him at the 2.
It's a heck of a catch by Ken Avrer. He knows he's going to get the hit coming from 27, Daniel Hunter in the middle, but he has the courage to take the hit, make the catch in a key situation. He knows the game's on the line. If they can get the touchdown here, their chances of winning this one increase dramatically. But that is a pretty gutsy catch.
1st and goal to go from the 2. Rosenbaugh looks to the end zone himself. Good fake, maybe, but he's there.
Well, better
if that was a fake or a broken play.
No way, broken play. Better to be lucky than good. Now, there's a penalty marker down on the play. So the Ticats will hold their breath as well as their fans for a few more seconds.
Avrer set up the opportunity. It'll stand. Avrer setting it up with a 23-yard reception. Rosenbaugh finished it off here. Yeah, it wasn't a fake. It was a little miscue, but he found the end zone.
I think Dave Denal went the wrong way, and Rosenbaugh, you know, he's a good-sized quarterback, 6'2" and 215 pounds, so he does have the physical ability to take it in on a short yardage play. Really, that miscue fooled the defense so badly he went in untouched. Maybe they should put that play in.
Yeah, it fooled them all right. 27-14. Osbaldiston lines up for the point after. Ticats have scored 28 points in a row. Well, the Whiskers. From Iverwin and Hamilton, CFL Live. It's the Ticats by 2 touchdowns.
Well, the key play on that touchdown drive by the Ticats had to be the catch by Kenny Avrer. Watch, he's going to end up in here, but the real key play is to watch Hunter come over, follow him all the way, and you're going to see the hit by Hunter, but the tremendous concentration of Ken Avrer to make that catch. And here's a guy that knows the game is on the line right here. If he can make that catch, he does. The Ticats, of course, go on to score the touchdown that may prove to be the winning one in this ball game. But boy, when the game's on the line, a guy like Ken Avrer knows how to make the big play.
And give this guy some credit, Tim Rosenbaugh. He has taken a beating tonight and put in a very gritty performance,
well,
just like Earl Winfield has.
You know, I really didn't talk about the throw that much on that play, but he put it in the perfect spot where only his guy could really make the play on it.
Here's Manny Hazard returning for the Pirates and forced out near the 47. An impressive scoring drive for the Tiger Cats to take a 2-touchdown lead, 6 plays to cover 72 yards in a time of 2:57. Rosenbaugh for the touchdown from 2 yards out.
Yeah, it really was kind of rare. 3 big catches out of those 7 plays to set the Ticats up on the 1, or the 2 rather.
It was the 2, and the play you just illustrated there was on 2nd and 10, so it was a rather crucial time for the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, the difficulty for Shreveport now is they're not a great catch-up team. They're down by 14 with about a half of the 4th quarter remaining.
Mickey the pitch to Martin Patton. And he's wrapped up by Reggie Rogers for 1, number 75.
Jeff Fields and Reggie Rogers making the tackle.
Well, as much as they're celebrating on the sidelines, the Hamilton touchdown was ugly. The ball was supposed to go to Dave Denal, and the Tabbies talking about on the sidelines, kind of rolling their eyes, saying that one was kind of fortunate.
Well, I think you're right about that, but they might have had another try after that. That was 1st and goal to go from the 2. 7:09 to play, 4th quarter. 2nd and 3, Shreveport. And markers are down. Time count violation, it looks like. And Tom Mickey is a little distressed at himself after that.
Well, he had to try and change the play at the line of scrimmage.
Violation, Shreveport number 11.
Todd Wiseman, number 6, the middle safety, was sticking his nose right up in there, faking the safety blitz, and that forced Tom Mickey to change his play, and Hamilton defense got the desired result. He just took a little bit too long. So you're looking at 2nd and short. All of a sudden now it becomes 2nd and long.
2nd and 8 to be exact. Mickey can't connect. It's picked off by Todd Wiseman. Here's Wiseman. He could be gone. Touchdown. Second interception for Todd Wiseman. No penalties, folks. The touchdown counts. Pretty nice night. 2 interceptions for a total of 3, and a nifty little touchdown run here. Ball deflected right to Wiseman, and he raced 65 yards.
Here's Todd Wiseman right in the middle of your screen. You watch what happens. A tip ball as Tom Mickey tries to release this, and the recipient of that tip was Todd Wiseman. He's right there, and he is off and running, and boy, did he turn into a running back in a hurry. That's pretty good explosion to get away from the pack. Only Manny Hazard has a chance to bring him down, but he cannot catch Todd Wiseman, his 2nd of the night, this one for a touchdown. And well, you look at this game and how it developed. The defense shut Shreveport down in the 3rd quarter, took control in the 4th, and now Hamilton has a comfortable lead.
Yeah, Wiseman did that just about all by himself. There were no blocks there. Everyone seemed surprised in the Tiger Cat secondary. And yes, sir. That takes the heat off the coach.
Wow, it's like 1,000 pounds just lifted from your shoulders.
It's 35-14. Ticats on top.
The Hamilton Tiger Cat defense has made a lot of key plays in this ball game to
And here comes Todd Wiseman. Really didn't get any blocking help on this one. He just scooted the 60 or so yards toward the end zone. 2nd interception of the night. And that might finish off the Pirates at 35-14. Here's Lucas. Returning for Shreveport, they're looking for field position. They need a whole bunch of that. Marker down, 42-yard line. David Lucas.
And now the question on the Shreveport sideline, what to do about quarterbacking. Tom Mickey will come back in, but the discussion a moment ago was whether or not to bring in that man on the left, Errol Sanchez, who is the 3rd-string quarterback for the Pirates. He was here last year with Hamilton. Now, you've seen a lot of Terrence Jones, the starter. You've seen a little of Tom Mickey. You haven't seen any of Sanchez. The Pirates at some point have to find a quarterback who can play, and they'll give Tom Mickey another chance to prove himself.
That last interception, not completely Mickey's fault. It bounced off the hands of his receiver and right into Todd Wiseman's. But it still goes as a 64-yard interception return touchdown against the quarterback.
John, you might have wondered where I went for a few minutes. Had a little microphone problem.
.6:24 to go in the fourth quarter with the Tiger Cats on top of the Pirates, 35-14. Shreveport scored the first 14 points of this ball game. And there's an injured player being attended to.
Well, I think one of the things you have to be impressed about the Hamilton Tiger Cats and the way they played tonight is the fact that they were down by 14 points and, you know, were able to fight their way back into this. There's been a lot of adversity in the first few games of the season, but all of a sudden they find themselves back in a position to win their first game of the season, and they didn't get all excited and upset when things didn't go well in the first part of the game.
Injured player is Jeff Nickel, and the worried coach is Forrest Gregg, who is on the verge of going 0 for 5. Born in Birthright, Texas. Left a nice, safe job as the athletic director at SMU to hook up in Shreveport and get back to the action of coaching football. .6:17 to go, fourth quarter. 1st and 10 Shreveport. Mickey to the far side has his man. Tony Moss made the catch. Eric Carter supplied the hit. He's been rather impressive tonight. 1 interception, a couple of big hits, and nobody's really been behind him a whole bunch.
No, he's played a really solid game for his first game as a professional. Nice hit on the play, and you have to be impressed with the kind of corners that John Gregory has come up with tonight. Adrian Smith on the other side in his first game has never looked out of place either.
Tom Mickey on first down goes deep and just misses his intended receiver, Martin Patton. And again, it was Carter back there with Don Odegaard, actually step for step with Patton that time. Didn't miss by much, Mr. Mickey.
Well, Tom Mickey at this point has no choice but to try and air it out. He's got to get his team back into this one in a hurry if he can with the long strike. But just, well, actually the hit by Odegaard really fouled up that play. Patton might have had a chance at it, but Odegaard timed it perfectly.
2nd and 10. Pirates at the 43. Down by a bunch at 35-14. Lucas was the intended receiver, and he drew a crowd. There's a marker down. Adrian Smith, number 14, was covering. And it looks like it's going against the Tiger Cats. He's pleading his case. No, I didn't do it.
Forward pass interference. Hamilton, number 14, a 10-yard penalty. First down.
You know, these two young rookie corners, John, are so similar in their college days, both from small schools. Smith from Southwest Missouri State, a very small school where in 4 years he had 24 interceptions. So, you know, his skill level is very good. Carter, we mentioned, had 22 at Knoxville College. So both of them really know how to get the job done. You just never know how they'll react at this level. And so far they've reacted pretty well tonight.
It'll be a first down. Shreveport. Mickey looking long. And Carter was back. The intended receiver was Terry Smith, number 88. And Carter didn't let him get away. These two guys having a pretty good night. You talk about rookies on the hot corners, and you wonder what can happen on a night like tonight when you're trying to turn your fortunes around and you got rookie cornerbacks going into the game. First starts.
Yeah, it's funny how things work. Gary Wilkerson, who's an excellent corner, is out of the lineup with injury tonight, and so the youngsters get a chance to play. And you know, this can do nothing but help the depth of your team long term to know how these young guys can play so well.
On 2nd and 10, Mickey is picked off far side. Don Odegaard, not exactly a veteran of the Tiger Cat secondary himself, playing in his 4th game tonight, and he gets his first CFL interception.
Well, it's interesting how these things materialize. The Ticats very nervous about their secondary tonight with so many young people in it, but Don Odegaard now chips in with an interception on a 3rd down desperation gamble by the Shreveport Pirates. And boy, the Ticats have totally dominated this second half. Shreveport been shut out on the scoreboard, and the Ticats scored 24 points of their own.
This is John Hood. He breaks through and is caught from behind by Payton and finally wrestled down at the 45. Everything is going right for the Tiger Cats now. Tim Rosenbaugh has engineered 35 points in a row. And you said the difference was going to be up front. Well, there were a few holding calls, but Rosenbaugh, and there were a few hits on Rosenbaugh, but he's managed to get the job done.
Well, obviously they protected well enough.
Well, yes, but
for him
not
to
completely. Rosenbaugh is going to be in the tub till Tuesday. Here he is to his left this time, looking for Burbage. Great catch. Joe Miro beaten by Cornell Burbage, but it was a spectacular catch.
Well, I'm not sure he was really beaten. I mean, this is one of those catches where the receiver sees it all the way, and Joe Miro really has no idea where the ball is. Watch Burbage come back in at the last second, and you know, you look back to in the second quarter, Lonzell Hill made a couple of very aggressive moves to the football, and I think that really set the tone tonight for the entire Tiger Cat receiving corps, because then Winfield made some great catches. Rare has made some very gritty catches, and now Burbage adding in with one of his own.
Dave Richardson is the injured Tiger Cats. We'll check on his rehabilitation when we return. 3-minute warning at Iverwin and Hamilton. It's 35-14, the Tiger Cats leading the Pirates. This is CFL Live.
At the end of August, they could really be back in the thick of things.
First down, Tiger Cats. Rosenbaugh looks for more, and he's off target, intending that one for Hill, who ended up in the bandstand down there somewhere. Tiger Cats managed just 6 touchdowns in the first 4 games. And they have opened up the offense quite a bit tonight with 35 points on the board.
Had nothing to do with the team they were playing, did it?
Well, it might have had a little something to do with it. But they have come back from a 14-0 deficit to score 35 in a row. They'll add to it possibly here. Rosenbaugh. Now the heat comes. Had to throw it away. Paschal Davis was chasing Rosenbaugh that time. He's had a lot of company in the backfield. So they'll settle for 3, and some of the pressure off John Gregory, obviously. A rather gutsy performance by the Tiger Cats. A couple of players in particular tonight. This team has been riddled with injuries. A couple of problems off field, and Gregory has had to put together a makeshift lineup in some areas, particularly on defense.
Well, John, you know, football is no different than any other sport. You have to have your stars playing well every week in order to win. And Earl Winfield, who is their star, played well. Tim Rosenbaugh, who's supposed to be their star, played well. So when those things happen, you have a good chance to win. And you know, Paul Oswaldis said before the game, a couple hours before the game, he comes walking out on the field and got a little bag over his shoulder and kind of looked like his lunch going to a picnic. I said, Ozzy, what do you got in the bag? Is that your lunch? He said, Leaf, you know me better than that. It's a case of beer.
Really? He had a case of beer. Perfect.
So Ozzy's chipped in with a pretty good effort tonight, too.
Kickers are great, aren't they?
They have their own code, I think.
38-14, Tiger Cats in control with 2:47 to go. And another new quarterback in for Shreveport. This is Eros Sanchez, who is on target with his first toss to David Lucas. Ticat secondary spreading things out a little bit and allowing a little movement in front.
Sanchez pretty familiar with this stadium. He played for the Ticats at one time.
First down, and Sanchez's second pass, intended for Manny Hazard, goes into the turf.
You know, this is an awful situation for the third string guy to come in. I mean, you must feel like the sacrificial lamb coming into your Ticat defense is getting lots of pressure. The defensive backs are getting aggressive and hungry for the interceptions. And all of a sudden, the third guy off the bench has to come in and throw darts. That's pretty tall order.
They're still coming at the quarterback, though. Sanchez ended up on his rear, 2nd and 10, 2:39 to go. And Sanchez takes off himself. He'll have the first down. Ooh, duck. Down to the 45.
Adrian Smith and Todd Wiseman on the tackle.
38-14. Ticats have 38 points in a row. It's a little desperate for the Tiger Cats when Shreveport scored on an early turnover, or shortly after an early turnover.
They did not have the crowd on their side at that point.
They were not. The hometown fans were not pleased. Sanchez shotgun, and he's low on that toss. Well, they need a quarterback in Shreveport.
What's funny, you know, you look at this game, and for the longest time, Shreveport was still in it. You really got the feeling that the momentum had changed, and Hamilton was coming back, and maybe going to take control. But the fact remained that well into the fourth quarter, Shreveport certainly had as good a chance to win this game as Hamilton did. But Hamilton, in the later stages, just turned it up a notch, and they were the ones that can take control and will go on and win their first one.
Pirates led 14-11 at halftime. Sanchez. Lucas couldn't hang on. He was out of bounds anyway. Covered by Greg Edlin.
Adrian Smith in there to knock it down.
Another Adrian Smith, number 14.
It's funny, I really thought that Shreveport would go after the two new corners of Hamilton tonight with a vengeance, but they've tested them. But well, I'm really impressed with how these two guys, Adrian Smith and Eric Carter, have played. They look like they've been long timers out there.
5 interceptions for the Tiger Cats coming into this game, and they have 4 to add to that total tonight.
Well, there they are. Carter, number 9, he has an interception. Been aggressive to the ball.
Odegaard, number 28, has an interception, and Todd Wiseman has 2, including 1 for a touchdown. Wiseman will give up the single points.
Inmost field goal attempt is wide. Todd Wiseman concedes the single point.
So what do the Pirates have to do from here to try and win one?
Well, it's an uphill battle. You know, quarterbacking is not that solid for Forrest Gregg. His offensive line has been a makeshift offensive line that protected well in the first half, but then broke down a little bit in the second half. I mean, this is a learning and frustrating experience for the entire team. It's tough. It's personnel as much as anything else. They need some better people.
And they can't do that overnight, despite the fact that there is no import ratio to worry about in Shreveport. They're just
well, the NFL camps are just getting underway, and there will not be a lot of cuts coming up in the short term.
Earl Winfield is on the bench resting, and Wally Zatilny is out there. But Rosenbaugh is still at quarterback for the Tiger Cats.
And I think this is a good thing to let him finish off this game. I'm sure he's not going to take a lot of chances. And boy, this was the big play of the game to get the Ticats back into it early in the first half. Earl Winfield, it was 14-0 at that time, and he makes the spectacular catch over Worthman. And from that point on, it was the Ticats storming back.
He finishes with a couple of touchdowns, 119 yards in total. And Denal has had a great night for the Tiger Cats too. Hard running inside this time. At one point this season, the Tiger Cats had 2 import running backs.
And it was a waste.
John Hood and Bruce Perkins. Denal was not listed as a starter tonight, but he has been the most impressive runner out of the backfield, no doubt about that.
You know, I'm not in the locker room every day with this team to understand the makeup of it all, but boy, from what I've seen of Dave Denal, boy, I think he deserves a chance to be a starting running back. You got Lee Knight, P.J. Martin that can play fullback for you in a scheme that's primarily a blocking scheme, and boy, I think you could use an import somewhere else.
Denal got another couple there. 10 carries for 46 yards on the night.
You know, if John Gregory could find an import offensive lineman that had some pretty good tools and credentials, you know, that might be one scenario that could free up for him. I know offensive line is of huge concern. You never know. You might have to take a second look at how you're using your import ratio here in Hamilton.
This is 2nd and 5, and the ball is fumbled on the exchange from Rosenbach to Denal. Picked up by Ben Williams, number 64. And that won't be a major blemish on the night for Tim Rosenbach. 56 seconds to go, 4th quarter.
Offside, Shreveport number 64. First down.
I was wondering why Rosenbach was walking back onto the field. I didn't see the flag. Offside against the Pirates. The fumble is not a factor, and Rosenbach keeps the drive going. That's Tim with 2 M's.
Yeah, you know, I indicated in our opening tonight that everybody was kind of unsure. Was this the quarterback for the Ticats? Was he as good as his credentials when he came in here? But tonight's performance, I think, seems to indicate that he's got some talent.
Denal again, off the left side this time. Williams made the tackle, number 64. And the gain, another 5. Now 48 seconds to go at Iverwin Stadium. Ticats will get their first victory of 1994 and get the monkey off their back.
You know, John, I talked a lot about Dave Denal and the fact that I think he should be getting more playing time. He's getting a lot tonight. And sometimes when you're a Canadian and you're a backup, sometimes you're more valuable as a backup than you are as a starter. So sometimes that impedes the playing time and the progress of a young Canadian.
Solid on special teams as well. He gets quite a bit of work there and has made a couple of key tackles on special teams for the Tiger Cats tonight. John Gregory can breathe a sigh of relief. And he wasn't thinking happy thoughts when it was 14-0 early in the opening quarter, or early in the first half. First touchdown in the opening quarter, second touchdown for the Pirates came early in the second. And time to finish things up here for Osbaldiston, standing at midfield. Booming punt for Osbaldiston. Lucas starts the return and almost runs out the clock. 1 second. Nope, hang on. That should be the ball game. Ticats came back from a 14-point deficit and allowed just 1 point the rest of the night, scoring 38 in a row before the Shreveport Pirates could get on the board once more. Gregory celebrating. Earl Winfield, solid show. 2 touchdowns for him. Canavere, good night too.
Well, I think that entire receiving corps of the Hamilton Ticats did their best to make Tim Rosenbach have a good night. No question, the quarterback stood in nicely, made some key throws, but his receivers did an excellent job being aggressive to the football, and certainly one of the main reasons why the Ticats were able to hang in and come out with their first win.
Ticats win it 38-15. Here's Gord Miller.
With John Gregory, you can breathe now. Well, that's nice to get in the bag.
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you, that first one is tough to get. Really proud of our players, the way they hung in there, and our coaches. And you know, it's a good win for us, and we'll get on a roll now.
Got to talk about Earl Winfield. I saw him on the sidelines. He could barely breathe. He comes right out and catches the long touchdown and gets you right back in the football game.
Well, the doctor was trying to talk me out of playing him just before that play, and I said, hey, we got to have him. So, and he went down and made the play.
Another guy who played well for you tonight and took some shots was Tim Rosenbach. You have to be happy about that.
I thought Tim played really well, and I think tonight is an example of how Tim can play, and I think he's just going to get better as we go.
Now, talk about Smith and Carter on the corners on defense, because you look before the game, you see you got a couple of rookies out there against some guys that can fly, and they did a good job for it.
Well, you know, they're kids that came into camp. They're both just out of college, and You know, we were impressed with them in camp, and you know, you just kind of sweat bullets when you put. We had 4 rookies playing defense tonight.
And you're right back in it, right?
Well, we're right back in the hunt. I'm excited for this football team. Like I say, we've had some tough times, and our team has hung together very, very strongly. I'm very proud of them.
You should be, John. Congratulations.
Thanks, Gordon.
John Gregory of the Ticats, his team comes up with a big victory here tonight after falling behind 14-0, and finally there's something to smile about at Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton.
Yes, just what the doctor ordered for the Tiger Cats, a 38-15 win, albeit over the struggling Shreveport Pirates. Ticats, a happy group in Hamilton tonight.